know how Goff gets down. I still remember watching some games with him where he is literally just focused on one dude, just ready on that slant, and it's always Cooper Kupp, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
they
bet
gotta
Goff's
get
really good
creative
at
with,
Madden. I bet
yeah,
Goff's
just
king
that
at Madden.
one.
First
that
read.
one
You know
look.
why?
Yeah,
You know
one
why?
read.
Because he's sitting there in front of his bed, right? And behind him, laying on the bed, is
It's Sean
Sean
McVay.
Sean McVay, and he's whispering in his ear which receiver is going to be open on each
What if
play.
Sean McVay
Wait, hold
followed?
on,
What?
what?
If Sean McVay followed Jared Goff everywhere that he did, like everything Jared Goff did? He'd be like behind him at the fast food restaurant.
I'm telling you, that's what's happening. That is what's
Stop looking
happening
at
right
Is it
now.
like is it like the scene from Ghost? Like he
Right.
comes around Goff on the joysticks and he just starts like creating
Oh,
routes
God.
for him. He's
Right.
like,
Can
Like Jared
somebody
Goff
make
about
that a thing?
Jared Goff wants to make love with his girlfriend, wife, whatever. Looks over at Sean McVay.
If somebody makes that a GIF or a GIF or whatever you want to call it, or a meme, make sure you tag FF_intervention in it, because I will use it everywhere. I will use it every way that I possibly can. Make it into a GIF or a meme or GIF, whatever they call it. But yeah, I think that this whole Goff thing is actually going to work out, and I was a little bit cautious on it before the season started, but they did a bunch of work over there, and it's looking good.
Gerald Everett, Tyler Higbee. Who we got? Everett, right? Yeah. Come on.
Next
Come
question.
on. All right. Okay. Look, let's stick to the NFC West. So look, I don't usually open a show like this, but
Yeah, you just started it live. I mean, out of nowhere.
And that's true. Oh, we're live.
Are we live
welcome
now?
to the open bar. It's
good
Tuesday. It's live. It's 9:30 Eastern ish. The tweet has been composed, fellas. So go ahead and find it. It's right there in your Twitter app. You can press that little arrow thing that goes this way. I think it's a retweet, something like that. But anyway, so I don't start a show like this. But check this out. We got tape grinders on the show, or at least one, and I want to break down some tape. I want to break down some tape from a particular play. Can we do that? Can we do that real quick? I'm gonna share some screen. We don't do this here on the open bar. We don't talk football. All right.
Pretty much worthless unless it's an injury.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how injured you are after you watch this clip, buddy. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to share the audio too. So, all right. Do we see that? Can we see this?
That's nice.
Yeah, we like that.
That was slick. I like that.
Okay. So, this was last night, right? Cardinals, Cowboys. I just want to break down this play. Tell me what happens here.
The last day
Okay.
Mhm.
Just under 2 minutes left in the game.
You know
Punts.
I'm a Cowboys fan.
he
right?
does a
Like,
punt.
we doing this.
He does the punt too at the end. Oh, a nice cut to the right. He hit a gap. Look, there's no one there. He hit a gap.
All I see right now, the only thing that I see right now is Gallup dropping that pass in the end zone and Dalton missing Gallup time again.
Dang, is Drake's fast. His game speed is that 21, 22 miles per hour.
The only thing I see right now is the face of Dr. Porras, who is not enjoying this one bit.
What? Tell me more.
All right. So I'm in this league, right? And it's my what people call your home league, right? The one, like, a lot of us are like, we fancy ourselves being a little bit more advanced with this stuff, right? So we were in a lot of like industry leagues. I'm in this home league where I'm supposed to be. I have access to like the top advice you could possibly have. I'm 1-4 going into this week, so I got to win this matchup, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. Started Fuller, right? Started Cousins, streamed Cousins. That one maybe I got a little lucky on. Sanders and Mixon did fine, whatever. Had Robinson, Godwin, first game back, whatever, right? But I'm still winning by like 60. Dude has Kyler Murray, Kenyon Drake, Michael Gallup left. And I'm like, yeah, all right. Murray will probably go off, do his thing. Drake, Gallup, I think I got this, right? So I put my phone away and I'm helping my wife do some stuff around the house, whatever. I'm not even watching the game anymore. It was a blowout. I check my phone. You know that moment where you look, where you're like not expecting something at all, like the score changed, and like my stomach dropped, and I lost by 1.7 points because of Kenyon Drake in the last 2 goddamn minutes of, I don't know if I can cuss, of this fucking game. So now I'm 1-5. Like I was looking good, right? I was looking good. Things were looking up. I traded for Godwin. I had just won my first game in the league. Like I said to myself, I was fielding offers for Michael Thomas. I still am. And I was like, you know what? I could come back. My team's all right. I can make a stretch run, get that 6 seed. Then Kenyon Drake goes off and runs for 69 nice yards for this fucking touchdown. And I lost. Now I'm 1-5. And I know that Gabe was saying that I just got to like not lose or whatever, which is going to be impossible now that Sanders is going to be out. Like if there was anyway, all right.
So Kenyon Drake extinguished any sliver of hope you had left in the league that is most important to you.
It's like a $35 league too. It's like we play because we're friends. You know what I mean? Like we just play because we're friends, and I'm pissed. I'm pissed that I lost. Like my wife was like, "Are you gonna be okay? Like, are you okay? Do I need?" She's like, "I'm just gonna walk away." It's like, "All right, it's fine. I get it." I was pissed though. That's like after 24 hours of processing too. So last night was worse.
I should have smashed that live button last night. I mean, that was good, but I was
anyway. That's what I saw. Sorry, that's my take. Your ending take.
Sorry, Ray. That was actually not directed towards you, even though that probably did hurt a little bit. But I mean, did it? Like it kind of already probably.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
I think you already got over it at like mid-second quarter.
Of week one.
How are you, Ray? How are you from Vegas and a Cowboys fan? No, explain that one.
Well, Vegas, growing up there, we didn't have any pro teams, no baseball, no hockey, nothing. So they just show at that time, one of the most popular teams in, the country were the Cowboys. So that's all they would show, would be the Dallas Cowboys. So growing up there, it's weird, like Dallas Cowboys, Atlanta Braves. I mean, who didn't watch TBS to see the Braves, right? So just weird. So now that we actually have a team in the hometown, I'm trying to convert. And I live in Texas. I live in Dallas, Texas right now. But now I've got to pick up the Las Vegas Raiders kind of fandom as well. So it's been interesting. But yeah, we didn't have anything in Vegas, man. Nothing but
you didn't have the foresight, Ray.
Nothing but what? What were you going to say, Ray? Let Ray finish. What were you going to say, Ray? Nothing but what?
It's too early.
Chocolate.
So I do gotta say,
Ray's fast.
I got to ask Ray a question, right? Because I'm in the middle of writing an article. I just kind of started off, just kind of lifted. And spent about 4 hours doing some research. And I think it's a real possibility that the Cowboys could end up with Trevor Lawrence this year in the draft. It's something that would take a lot of work in order for them to do, but it's still in a very, very possible situation. So how hard would you be? How hard would you be if Trevor Lawrence actually landed in Dallas?
Man, we love Dak down here, man. Like I don't,
You would rather have Dak than Trevor Lawrence? Come on, man. Come on.
Honestly,
Ray, I bet you love Dak. I bet
honestly,
a lot of people like Dak. There's some people who
honestly
probably
right now,
love Jerry a little more, though, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I literally updated my kind of cornerstone rankings, and there are only about 6 quarterbacks that I would take ahead of Trevor Lawrence right now, and Dak Prescott is one of those 6 quarterbacks that I'd still prefer to T-Law. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Why not?
The age, the college production, just the rookie contract. The rookie contract alone would make it worth it, right? You could actually build a team around Trevor Lawrence versus just having Dak Prescott, having to play catch up every week.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. They're not going to be that bad to really get him. Like you said, it's just I'm not even going to allow my mind to get to that part because it's not going to happen. Like it's not going to happen. And again, man, the thing with these, like I spent a whole fucking 2 shows talking about T-Law. The reality is, man, Dak is proven, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? As good as we think T-Law is, like, I really believe he's that dude. And you, if that's the case, then take him before everybody. I mean, hell, you gonna put him before Lamar Jackson? You gonna take him before Kyler Murray? Like, is that? I just don't think that's a winning formula, man. Like maybe I don't know, man. That's a tough one, man. For
No, but
for
you
a
just
team
named
like that.
you just named two guys on rookie contracts, and their teams have been able to build powerhouses around that rookie contract. And so when you sit there and you talk about this rookie contract and how valuable it is and how bad Dallas's defense is, you need some money. And with them paying Amari Cooper, with them paying Zeke, that money isn't available. The Rams learned the hard way, and they had to trade away major assets in order to make this team work. And now, for the Cowboys, man, I feel like it's a good time to rebuild when you have a young core. And if you sign Dak, right, you tag him and you say, hey, we're tagging you because the Broncos or the Colts have interest in you, and we're going to trade you away so you can get your long-term contract that you want, that you deserve. You could actually sit there and see a scenario to where, they give 2 first-round picks. And then all of a sudden you flip those next, 4 first-round picks essentially to the Jets, no matter where you land in the draft, for that first overall pick for Trevor Lawrence. And now you're able to build a team.
Just dump McCarthy.
Yeah.
There you go. There's
That's where the questions should be.
First off,
not Dak.
I agree with Ray. I think if Dak wasn't injured, okay, so obviously if Dak is not injured, there's no way they're in the conversation for Trevor Lawrence because they're going to win more than one game. But let's just say hypothetically you have a healthy Dak and you're still in position to get Trevor Lawrence somehow. There's no question. There's no question you keep Dak. I mean, he's been underrated his entire career. He's a top 5 option every year. Like, put him in your pocket, lock him up. He's a sure thing. The only question now comes down to the injury. And I would ask you all, is Joe Burrow not a cautionary tale about Trevor Lawrence? Like, I hate pumping the brakes. Excitement is fun. It's fun to get revved up for these rookie QBs. But I would take a healthy Dak over Joe Burrow, wouldn't you? I mean, you got to see the guy at the next level.
Yes.
No.
And
What Dak was doing, and I get the sample size was 5 weeks, was all-time historic great from passing production. And that's not that's not hyperbole. That's fact. What he was doing. And the Dallas's problems are much bigger than the quarterback position. Much bigger than the quarterback position. The biggest issue was investing all that money in that offensive line. That team was built around the offensive line. And when they lost Travis Frederick, when he retired, La'el Collins is out. They paid him all of that money. They paid drop foot Jalen Smith all of that money, and he can't do a damn thing out there. It's not Dak Prescott, man. You could say that about any quarterback, though. I know Patrick Mahomes' deal was spread over 10 years, but you don't just flip quarterbacks after their rookie. You don't play that game. If running back position, sure. Should they have signed Zeke Elliott? Absolutely not. I just don't believe giving $90 million, $60 guaranteed to a running back is a winning formula. But you don't play that game with the quarterback position. Dallas struggled for years, from Chad Hutchinson to fucking all these random ass quarterbacks, Drew Henson, and all these players to find a guy. When you got him, you don't move him. And I'd ask Edwin, but everything that I've read, everything that I've seen is he'll be back, ready to play week 1 of next season. So at 27, going on 28 years old, he's just now hitting the prime of his career. I'm not moving him for T-Law. I'm sorry.
He'll be back.
And Chase, and I'll just throw this out, Chase, when you talk through that, you do have the success stories, though, of the quarterbacks who did get paid and the teams eventually figured it out around them, like Russell Wilson, even Matt Ryan, a lot of these guys who have got the bag per se, and they still did right by them with what they put around them. Let me ask you guys this: which would you rather hear, or excuse me, which coach would you rather have whispering in your ear? Sean McVay or
this
sounds
is a
like
pre-show
draft.
thing.
no, let's do that. Yes, let's do that.
Drafting the
Let's
quarter.
do even better. And we haven't even got into intros. We haven't done anything. We're just getting
I don't even think I said we
Wait.
You whispered in my ear.
Can I address something real quick? So with the quarterbacks that figured it out, there weren't massive contracts given to other players on their team like the Cowboys have done. So the reason
let him finish his point. What were we gonna say, J. Mike?
Who's this other coach? And I still don't even know who Gabe sounds like. Who does Gabe sound like?
Find out
is-
next week.
Gabe, do you mind if I run the draft this week?
Absolutely. No, I do not
Okay.
mind. No, yeah.
Okay, let's do this. This just hit me while
Run
y'all
it
were
like
talking.
Kenyon Drake on that 69-yard touchdown last night.
That's cold. Yeah, that's cold.
Run it
People
just
gonna
like
log
that.
off now.
That's cool, man.
So here's the draft tonight. Tell me, please. This is what it'll be. Tell me the coach that you'd prefer whispering in your ear. Okay. The coach in the NFL that you'd prefer whispering in your ear, telling you to do whatever menial task throughout your day that you do.
Ooh.
You've got to choose the coach and you have to choose what specifically they're telling you to do throughout your day. So take a moment, chew on that a little bit.
Or chew it with your coach if that's your medial task.
Look over your shoulder.
So we know how Sean McVay is in. Y'all just talked about it. He's in Jared Goff's ear. Hey, is it avocados today? Is it Chipotle? Is it Taco Tuesday? Like what's crack? Hey, did she shave her legs today? Like what are we doing? What are we doing, right? So McVay's asking all the right questions to put Jared in optimal positions for 60 minutes on Sundays, sometimes Thursdays, maybe even on a Monday if they're crazy. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you and Gabe, do you have anyone that you'd like to go first on this with the 101? Because I feel like this is a big responsibility, and this is a really obscure draft. Of all the obscure drafts that we have, this is by far one of the most obscure. Who should go first here?
Man. Who had the ghost reference or not the ghost reference?
You
but the,
you did. You
I know,
literally
I
had
meant-
the go.
yeah, it was me. No, who said that? I don't know. I think this is going to be a great draft just because we have so many good minds. So the 101 might not matter. The 104 might be equivalent to the 101 at this point, So let's just roll. Let's just roll clockwise and start with Chase, the intervention.
Chase, and we'll call this the Coach Whisperers draft.
Are we starting
Coach
right now?
Whisperers draft. Oh yeah.
We're on.
Oh yeah, 101. It's on you, Chase.
Oh, we're
Okay,
live,
good.
by the way.
We're live, by the way.
17 minutes ago.
So I got a question. I know it's not a coach, but can Booger McFarland count? Because honestly, whatever he's
Ooh.
doing in his daily life is making him a ton of money because of the fact that he has no business being an announcer on TV, and yet he still gets opportunity after opportunity after opportunity.
So you're telling me you want Booger McFarland in the passenger seat going, what Chase did there was take a right turn. When he took the right turn, he went and got in the right lane and then turned right, turning his steering wheel to the right. And that got him straight onto the road that he needed to be because he took the right turn at the right time. That's what you want, Chase?
I don't want that, but I'm just saying whatever he's doing in his daily life is somehow making him money. Oh, man. All right. So I'm going to go with Joe Brady as my 101. He's turning a Teddy Bridgewater, who, he's an average quarterback overall, into a superstar, into Lamar Jackson, running, 30-yard runs left and right. And, he's making this offense actually ebb and flow without Christian McCaffrey, which is insane, to the point where they're actually having some winning weeks over there. Joe Brady only has the up arrow following, so I'm going Joe Brady.
Okay, so you got the coach.
Mhm.
Now you've got to choose what is he whispering
Yeah.
in your ear to do. This is the whispers part of the draft, Chase. What
Damn,
is this
Chase.
coach-
Come on,
what-
Chase. Shit. Let's go.
What is Joe Brady whispering to you to do throughout your day? What's one thing that he's telling you to do in the day?
Wait till you see my.
Oh, man. He's telling me to
Wait,
attack.
you got
He's
what,
telling me to
Chase?
attack.
What
He's
was
telling
the
me
end
to
of
just go for it every time. He's telling me to just attack that end zone with my wide receivers and use, the tools to the best of my ability. I don't really have a funny comment for that one. So I'm going to go with Joe Brady and just tell me to attack the shit out of it.
Attack the day. Hey Chase, attack.
Attack today.
All right.
He's waking me up in the morning. He's like, hey, it's time to wake up, Chase. Chase, it's time to wake up. Yeah. Oh man.
You hit
By the way,
snooze
this is for you,
15
Troy.
times. All right, fair enough. Edwin at the 102.
Man, this is
Your
a tough
coach
one,
and
right?
your whisper.
So let me talk you through my process here, right? Process over the results. So if I wanted a serious type, right? If I wanted somebody to guide me through, like, for example, in the clinic with patients, I needed to make the right decision. I feel like Bill Belichick's next to me. I can look at him. He go, make the right decision. Make the right decision. Do your job.
Good.
Do what you need to do. And then if the patient gets better, then all right, we're on to the 930. Right, 930's done. We're going to move on to the 930. Right, no bullshit. At the same time, if Bill Belichick would have followed me, at my wedding, and priest would have been like, blah 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 blah, and it's my turn to say I do, right, and I would have looked at Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick would have been like, on to New England. I don't know, on to Cincinnati. Whatever. My wife wouldn't have been very happy. So I think I'm going to go with Bruce Arians. That was a long explanation to get to Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians risks it for the biscuit. And I'm all about that life, man. I'm all about risking it for the biscuit, and I like Bruce Arians, so that's who I'll go with.
What about Ron Rivera after that 2-point extra, or the 2-point conversion? Holy hell.
Well, Riverboat Ron.
I love how you give us all the Bill Belichick goods.
Yeah.
You just say Bruce Arians.
Right.
Bit of a tease.
1.03 up, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's the issue with Bill Belichick, right? Universally beloved and admired person as a coach, and seriously weird guy as an individual.
He's probably weird in real life, right? Like who are the weirdest? I know we're still doing this thing. Sorry. Who do you think are the weirdest coaches are in real life? Like outside of football, like who do you think the weirdest ones are?
Bill Belichick goes to sleep every night in a cryogenic chamber, and then he wakes up and kisses his daughter on the mouth, and then he gets out and kicks some ass every fucking day. That's Bill Belichick's day every day. He's an insane person.
What just happened?
That's a strong case right there. That is a very strong.
Did we just start another draft?
Does Andy Reid look like he forgets that he has to go to practice some days? Because that's what Andy Reid sort of looks like to me. He'll be like, eating a cheeseburger. That's his thing, right? He's eating cheeseburger.
On his recliner, like while reading the newspaper.
On his indented recliner from 1993. Yeah.
Yeah, just sitting there with the TV running for the news channel or whatever it was in the background.
I think Cliff Kingsbury definitely wants to be Sean McVay, so badly. Just in the mirror at home and yes, Sean. Just whisper, hey Sean.
He has
There's a lot of whispering going on in this episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just you all said the most awkward. Could you imagine Matt Patricia leaning up to your ear and stabbing you with the pencil in it? That's his ear?
It's awful.
Just he just leads in
his lead pencil for his laminated fucking play sheet. Yeah.
the pencil gets you first, followed by a couple beard follicles, and then his stank breath voice. Oh man, I'm out. I'm out on Matt Patricia.
Terrible.
Imagine running into Gase at a bar though.
3 years. I'm Matt Patricia.
And Matt and Gase though, running into Gase at a bar while he's drunk and having to hear his philosophy. His whole
he's got chocolate.
life philosophy. Oh man, I'll buy you another drink. Just stay and listen.
Gabe, stop.
So
Last thing I'll say, because I keep talking, I feel like if Adam Gase was in this draft, Adam Gase would draft Adam Gase. So that's how I view Adam Gase.
He'd also fire Adam Gase.
He is the most insecure person in the National Football League, and I know this because of the legendary answer. You know what I'm talking about, right? I want to say it was 2019, 2018. People are saying, Adam, you've got some serious problems here on your offense. What are you going to do to address this or that? I don't recall. And he says, well, what do I care? I'm fucking rich. What the fuck? What the fuck? You redirected to your financial status instead of doing your job? What? That you're fucking rich and about to get fired. What does that say about you? No, I have no sympathy for Adam Gase. I will make fun of his bug-eyed bullshit all day. Anyone who's pointing to their bank account as a justification for how shitty they are at their job is doing it wrong. My guy, my coach, and sorry for the side track there, the best coach in the modern NFL, and it's not Bill Belichick, because coaching is a multifaceted thing, and winning is one thing. And the coach I'm going to mention, he's a winner, but he's the best manager of people in the league, and you already know it. It's Mike Tomlin. Why is it Mike Tomlin? Because we had no idea Antonio Brown was completely insane for 10 years. He kept Antonio Brown in line for 10 years. And the whole run of them, Martavis Bryant, Le'Veon, everybody who's ever gotten in any amount of trouble. God help me, Ben Roethlisberger. My God, the worst of them, right? He's kept them all in line his entire career. That's who I want over my shoulder, making sure I get my shit done on time. Because that's the guy who's going to do it for me.
Yeah,
That's
keep you in
interesting. I
line.
shit
You,
like
you
that.
might want to hold on to him.
Good job,
You know,
John.
For
That was a
real.
good
I don't know if you have a significant other, Solace, but I think you should go fishing for Tomlin.
I
Has
have a
anybody ever
fiance-
seen Mike Tomlin's blink? Because I haven't.
The slow blink or just the not blink at all.
He just
No.
does one eye at a time individually just to lubricate it.
I remember
He
there
does.
was.
He has a disappointing blink. Like he only blinks when he's disappointed. It's like that.
Oh, man. I remember
Yeah,
in like
disappointed blink.
2017 or 2018, there was a time when Pittsburgh was on the. I don't even know who it was against. Pittsburgh was on the road. It was an overtime game or something. They had to score on the goal line. I think it was overtime. They had to score on the goal line. The game would have been over, right? It was fourth down. They could have kicked a field goal. Something. I don't know. The game was on the line at that point, right? I don't remember what it was. I remember Tomlin called in the Wildcat a dive for Le'Veon Bell on the road. You know, I think there were like playoff implications. Dude said, "Kit, we're doing it," and just went for it. They got it. They won the game. And I said, "Okay, Mike Tomlin. Okay." I remember that. I remember from like 2017 or 2018. That's the first time I really like paid attention to Mike Tomlin. Dude's a boss.
He's the man.
He's got pretty eyes too.
You're,
Talking about the eyes.
you're
Not
really trying to
blinking.
pitch me on Mike Tomlin
I'm
as
just
a
saying, man.
as a
I'm
partner.
saying though.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm excited to see who Ray's going to say here. I don't know. Let's see what he says.
104.
Yeah, man. Coach ain't even gonna have to say anything to me. You know what I'm saying? I just need him to do something. I just need him to do something.
Oh
From
God!
the time I wake up, all I need is Jason Garrett doing this. I wake up,
I was gonna say that.
I'll be like, hell yeah, coach, I'm doing it, baby. I'm brushing my teeth.
Oh,
Hell yeah, I'm brushing them teeth, dog. You see me? See me, Coach G? So I just need Jason Garrett clapping my ass up every time I do something, man. I don't care what it is. I just need him clapping for me, and I'm gonna be good.
it's like that
Wow.
commercial. It's like that commercial. Another one. Give him another one.
Just another one, baby. Everything I do, I just need him clapping, just like giving me that boost. Like, yeah, I'm doing a good job, man. You know, my wife doesn't think I do shit. She thinks I'm whack.
Hey,
Fucking
look at
job,
Jason Garrett.
you know
He's
what
over there
I'm saying?
clapping.
Yeah, I just need him to clap. He ain't even have to do it loud, just quiet, just a little clap. Just give me a little clap. That's all I
Yeah.
need.
Oh, I love it.
He's loyal too. You know, he
He's-
came
he's
and checked.
loyal.
He came and checked on Dak. I saw that.
Loyal, man.
He
He's
did.
loyal.
Yeah. These coaches ain't loyal. These coaches ain't loyal. All right. 105. That was good. We can't I can't top that, Ray. That was already too good. So I'm in Austin, right? My commute is usually like too many minutes, 45, 50, 55. I don't know. And that's, pre-pandemic. So I guess now it's kind of cut down. Seems like a lot of people are working from home. So maybe it doesn't take me as long, but still the traffic, it gets to me. All right. I want to be more efficient. I want to find the way. Okay. I want to find shortcuts. I want to be efficient with the game. I want to find the loopholes. You know who's going to find the loopholes for me in this game? Vrabel, baby. All right. I'm gonna take that delay a game in a playoff game, and then I'm gonna punt it and just burn the clock. I'm gonna purposefully put 12 men on the field. All right. I'm gonna take the highway one and get off at this exit instead of the next one. Vrabel's my guy. He's gonna be in shotgun and be like, no. Stay. But and I'm saying Vrabel, but this is an exit lane. I can't do that. No, stay. That's my guy. All right. Vrabel's my guy.
I like that.
And he's whispering the whole time, by the way. I know.
He'll also
I
dive
know I
you
was
straight
I was a little
into
bit active.
into
but-
a COVID-19 pandemic
Well-
with no regard to the rules or policies. So I guess risk it for the biscuit, like I chose Arians.
I mean, I work in a school, so
Oh, God.
yeah,
Jesus.
right there with it.
Well, that's exactly where you want
Thanks,
to be.
Braves.
It's
all right,
delicious,
106.
Troy. It's
That
delicious.
was, that was good. Yeah, Troy. And shout out to everyone in the chat. Chat is lit tonight. What we again, we just totally blew past intros, I think, for the first time maybe ever. So that's a lot of fun.
We'll
But
circle back.
what you missed, Troy, for those who are wondering, you can always check out the pre-show nonsense
Mhm.
on what was it, Gabe? Patreon.com/theopenbar.
That's right.
Where you can see all of the pre-show madness, where
Wait,
you
all
can
of
learn
it?
about.
Yep, chocolate.
Wait, really? Oh, no.
Oh my God.
It's a running joke. No, it's a running joke. Relax.
These guys were sweating so hard.
Please don't
Ray's
watch
face.
that.
It's our new show sheet.
Yeah.
bit.
I'll pay your Patreon fee to not watch that. Just don't watch it. What's
I was
$5? Don't watch it. Let me know.
Oh man.
I'm so conditioned right now. I was about to be like patreon.com/all gas. I got this. That shit is just my bad, man. I'm hustling. I'm about that fucking paper, baby. That's
I like-
all I was thinking about.
I like how Ray was like, I almost plugged my Patreon, and then he plugged his Patreon. Patreon.com/all gas.
You chose Mike Vrabel, man. You want Ray G in there.
There you
Gritty,
go.
hey, gritty, hey.
Oh,
But
y'all are crazy.
no, I'm just kidding. It's our running joke. So, your secret's safe with the six of us.
There.
it's just us. The 106. I'll put a bow on this draft. Oftentimes, and I'm not sure all of you can relate, but I certainly know that some of you can. Being a father is obviously one of the special joys of life. One of the hardest, yet most important roles that someone can play, that someone has the privilege, the opportunity to be able to do. And one of the things that my children love are board games, whether it be memory games, whether it be Guess Who. I really want to get them into, more into my Monopoly, like the deeper things. But I always have this internal struggle now because they're young. And I want to be able to build up their skills in life. I want to be able to encourage them, to push them forward, similar to Jason Garrett. I want to clap them through. I want to be their biggest fan in those moments. And one of the things that I struggle with right now is the fact that when we play these games, I typically have this urge to hold back. The problem is at the 106, I get a steal here because consistently I've got Herm Edwards whispering in my ear, J Mike, you play to win the game.
He's whispering that.
What are we doing?
Here we go.
You can build up their egos later. You can build up their self-esteem later. But this game, this Uno right here, you gonna give this 7-year-old this draw 4, and she gonna take that.
You know those videos of those grown ass men that like
You know what
they're
I'm
playing
saying?
basketball with kids and then they block it. That's J Mike, isn't it?
Yep.
They just like
Yep.
block
Yeah.
the shit out of the kids.
You play to win the game.
Yes.
And that's what I need in my ear every day, and everything that I do. Stop playing around. Stop trying to be kind. Stop trying to let little old ladies pass first. No, this is my cantaloupe. I felt this cantaloupe first. I'm playing to win the game. You can't have my cantaloupe.
God,
is
you feel like shit afterwards.
You know what I'm saying? So
While you're enjoying your cantaloupe, by the way.
Yeah, that's an extremely specific example, J Mike.
Right.
An old lady in a cantaloupe, a confrontation at the grocery store. I feel like this is based in reality.
This happened.
allegedly,
Okay.
there was a nearby Aldi where Where? well, you know, the
We're in
produce,
aisle
you know what I'm saying?
7.
and you can't just take the cantaloupe just because you're old and kind. Like, God bless you, I appreciate you. You've probably contributed all sorts of wonderful things to this world, but this cantaloupe is me, cuz. So keep it moving. I'm playing
Oh,
to win
shit,
the
I
game.
just
I'm
got a new
listening.
patron.
Shout out, yeah. Patreon.com/hall pass.
Hall pass.
Damn it, I'm about to shut up mine now. Hell.
Oh man, y'all
So,
are
yeah,
sorry,
I
J
mean,
Mike. Sorry, J
no,
Mike.
it's
It just
good.
came through.
Let me ask though, when you get those alerts, like what does the alert sound like? Is it like a cha-ching, or does it like
Yeah.
how does that go?
It's Ray's own voice going, I'm about that paper.
I recorded my own voice. Money, bitch. Answer his email.
Yeah, I could just see the what's his name? Gus Johnson. The alert being hurt
man.
my feelings.
That's all bullshit, guys. It's Jason Garrett clapping in the background.
It's JG just clapping me on.
Oh man.
Start
It's
freaking
just-
out
it's
because
just
somebody's in
Garrett.
the room with you, and you're like, oh, I know what that is.
That's
Yo.
hilarious.
That was good. Gabe,
That's Ray's new ringtone, by the way.
Fellas, before we
sound
move on, Gabe's answer reminded me of something, and I'm hoping one or all of you have the football savvy to explain something to really a layperson, which is me. After the Titans game, a conspiracy theory began to circulate on Twitter that for some reason Mike Vrabel left intentionally 12 men on the field, or am I misunderstanding this? Something happened that appeared to be a mistake, and Vrabel sold it as a mistake, but now there's this belief that he did something intentional to game the system. Truly, I don't understand it. If someone can explain that in a way that I will understand, tall task, I would appreciate it.
If nobody can, I can.
Let
Have
her rip.
at him.
So essentially, Mike Vrabel left 12 men on the field, which I believe ran the clock off 10 seconds, but it stopped the clock. When that happened, it gave Dallas an automatic first down. Or I'm sorry, it gave who'd they play? It gave
Houston.
the Texans.
Houston.
Yeah. It gave Texans the first down. So that actually put him in a better position to score. And he thought with their defense, with Houston's offense, that they were going to score anyways. So it gave him an opportunity to still come in and have like over 2 minutes left on the clock to be able to march down the field. And he believed in his offensive efficiency. So that's essentially what happened.
So he bought himself more time conceding a first down that he probably would have given up anyway.
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
That's a big boy move.
It
I mean,
saved
it was-
about
it
40,
was- it
40
was-
seconds on the clock.
And that's why I mentioned the playoff bit from last year too, just milking the clock and taking penalties, 2 penalties, right?
How pissed was
One-
Belichick?
Yeah, one was the false start, and then one was the delay a game, and then he got to run in another 40 for the punt. Like, just got to milk 2 minutes just by manipulating the game, dude. That was
When he did it to
that's
Belichick,
galaxy brain shit right there.
the reason
Yeah.
Belichick couldn't be pissed is because Belichick understood what was
Yeah,
going on.
exactly.
For the
Yeah.
exact reason
Like,
he was pissed
"Motherfucker, I
is why
taught
he
him
could
that."
not be pissed. He knew what was going on.
He got his notebook. He got that water boy notebook.
I'm curious if Belichick does like deep down respect it, or if he's legitimately like so pissed, like I should have never even had you on my team ever. Mike,
Bro,
you
after
ungrateful ingrate. Like,
after
I could see
watching
that being the case.
the Jordan documentary, like getting inside the mind of, I mean, Jordan Wright, one of the best athletes of all time, period, hands down, right? Like the mindset of that type of person, like Bill Belichick's, I'm not saying he's Jordan, but he's in the conversation is whatever as
I
a
don't know,
coach.
man. I'm pretty sure he could dunk from the half, from the free throw line, right?
He well, maybe. I feel like he's so insanely competitive that he's like legitimately pissed off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd be pissed. You're in the playoffs, of course. Of course. I mean, you're manipulating the system, and for this past game, I mean, they saved like close to 37 seconds, 30. Depends on how long it took them to actually run the play, but close to 35, 37 seconds in order to make that penalty happen. Although they did have a 10-second runoff, the amount of time it took for them to actually run the play saved them a significant amount of time. And they scored with 6 seconds left, I believe, if I remember correctly, in a hurry up offense. So yeah, I mean that's a brilliant play by Vrabel.
That's my traffic king right there.
I appreciate the breakdown, guys. I truly was scratching my head over it. So
Okay, well, I guess that wraps up the show, huh, J. Mike? 40 minutes in, and we got some coaches whispering in our ear, and Ray's like, "Oh no,
No, we gotta get into some football, baby. There's a lot to talk. There's a lot to talk about, man. There's a lot going on.
man.
Oh, come on, Ray, lead the show. I don't know what to say.
There's a lot. I mean, hey, shit. I don't know. There's a lot, though. There's a lot. Damn. Got
Can we talk
Peter
about
Howard in
waivers,
the
Drew?
house. We got Peter Howard in the house, man. No, we don't want to talk about fucking waivers, man. We need to talk about real ass players, man. Let's talk CD Lamb. Let's talk Clyde Edwards-Helaire. People tripping on CEH. Let's talk Chase Claypool, who should have been a tight end. That's what everyone said, right? Everyone said should have been a tight end. Is about to push Juju out the door. Where's Juju playing next year? Because it ain't in Pittsburgh, man. It ain't in Pittsburgh. I mean, Claypool, Washington, Deontay Johnson. I mean, it's. Listen, I'm the first to admit I'm eating crow. I'm eating crow because I was one of the people out there talking about he should move the tight end. But dude is looking nice, man. Dude is looking nice.
I hate him. I'll be short. Let me give you my brief spiel on Chase Claypool. So, and I don't want to talk about last weekend. That was fun, but I want to talk about the weekend before. So the first touchdown. Oh, that's nice. Oh, he's a good big rookie Notre Dame guy. That's great. Second touchdown. People are going to be having fun with this on Twitter, but whatever. People have 2 touchdown games. That's fine. 3 touchdowns, and you're like, okay, I'm a Juju guy. This is fine. OBJ has multiple 3 touchdown games. This is something that can happen. And the 4th touchdown? Are you fucking kidding me? What is going on? I had to question my entire existence after the 4th touchdown. I own Juju everywhere. If I didn't draft him, I paid out the nose for him. Okay,
Yep.
like that was the death of Juju. You don't get 4 touchdowns on accident ever, unless your name is Jonas Gray, right? But as a wide receiver, to come up with 4 touchdowns, you have to accept it as real at that point.
Yeah.
You're seeing it. You
Yeah.
have to change everything.
Well, it was going to happen.
Until the Steelers draft another wide receiver that's better than Claypool, because that's just what they do. When Big Ben had Antonio Brown, I look at that. I look at the meme of that guy holding his girlfriend's hand looking
Yes.
this way. That's what I think of with Big Ben. Big Ben's that dude looking this way. And whoever the current receiver that's a rookie or second year is the person who's holding his hand, and he's always looking back at the next receiver.
Man,
It's always
Edwin, it's crazy though, man. Everyone shit on Antonio Brown, but what he said, he told the truth. He was like, dude, I'm the reason why Juju was getting that single coverage. Ever since AB has been gone, I don't think he's and I paid for him too, man. I just don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's that alpha number 1 guy. He's a good compliment. He's a above average complimentary receiver. But to ask him to do that and think about that shit, man. When Ben had AB, he'd be triple covered. Ben didn't give a damn. He's throwing it to Antonio Brown regardless, bro. Juju's not even getting looks. Not even James Washington's getting the looks. It's I think that's it. I mean, why on earth would they pay him? Why?
They're not going to, and they shouldn't. And it's actually better for Juju Smith-Schuster because guess what? Ben Roethlisberger is not going to be there forever.
Right.
Sorry, I should have paused before I said guess what, and then before I actually answered. My bad, guys.
We can all guess.
But yeah, so you guys can guess. But no, I think that he ends up in Washington. Terry McLaurin does slide to the slot a little bit, but he's primarily becoming that X receiver. Meanwhile, Juju Smith-Schuster is a perfect fit. Washington has the cap space. There's a good chance they draft Justin Fields over there. I think it's an absolutely smash play. They definitely need a better offensive line, but Juju Smith-Schuster could actually benefit from not having that offensive line. They have Antonio Gandy Golden on the outside as a future prospect. They have Terry McLaurin as the future, wide receiver moving forward. Antonio Gibson's there. And honestly, I think Washington is the perfect landing space for him. It might take a year or 2 for him to get acclimated, to that system and for Justin Fields to become a good quarterback. But I think that Washington is notorious for offering massive contracts. And recently they've been doing it to the wide receiver position. Now there is a new regime there with Ron Rivera, of course, but we all know that Dan Snyder will always have his fingers in the pot. fingers in whatever it is. But yeah, no, I'm thinking that Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be a guy that's going to land in Washington. That's my prediction. And I think it's a perfect fit, to be honest. Ron Rivera uses his slot receiver, and he wants a slot receiver. We saw DJ Moore do really well as a slot guy over there in Carolina. And, he was young. Meanwhile, you still have Juju Smith-Schuster, by the way, who's 22, 23 years old? Maybe 24
years old this year. He's a baby. He's the ultimate baby. I'm not going to Google it. I think he's legitimately probably 24 this year.
I think he's 23.
23?
Yeah, currently 23, will be 24 in about a month.
Unbelievable.
So I think it's a lock for a team like that needs a slot receiver. Slot receivers typically don't get paid, but Washington will dish out the cash for Juju. Their defense is set. They need an offense. Offensive line's major priority. That's their number one priority, but I think they try to address it in the draft once again, just like they do every year. I like Juju Smith-Schuster to go to Washington, and I like the opportunity. The only guy that's there is Stevenson Jr., who is not he's not a thing. Stevenson Jr. needs to get thrown in the trash. And then they have Brandon Wright, who is dropping balls left and right. So yeah, left and I didn't mean to say right. That just hit me.
But that becomes, and I'm curious because Juju right now for me is easily the biggest flashpoint talking point of Dynasty right now. We are looking at a guy who not 18 months ago, many of us were saying and trumpeting and excited about his prospects, who he was moving forward, moving him into the upper stratosphere, top 5 Dynasty wide receivers, right? So if we're looking at something like Ray's cornerstone type rankings, people would have had Juju in the elite tier of cornerstone type guys that you want to pay through the nose for, mortgage it all for, risk it all for. The James Harden look, that's the risk it all look, right? So now, just like you all said, we're looking at a case where Deontay Johnson sneakily might be cut from the AB cloth. I'm not saying he's AB, but for what they ask him to do,
that's what you said, J. Mike.
For what they ask him to do, and the targets that he's already garnering, he's tracking in that manner. I'll say that. We've got Claypool on the horizon. We've got weeks where James Washington's the lead target getter, and Juju literally just gave us 2 receptions for 6 yards. Okay.
Well, they also target him in the same play that he scored on with the Giants too, just for the record.
And just to get it out there, I'm not even a Deontay fan. That's not really my guy. I'm just saying how they use him, just how I see them using him. All that said, right now, if you want Juju on your team, and I tell you I still need 2 firsts if you want Juju, what is your response? I need 2 firsts. You can have Juju. Juju's not going back to Pittsburgh. Juju's about to get paid and go to an awesome situation where he can be the man again. All these other things that you want to be able to talk yourself through. And I'm not willing to sell low on Juju just yet. We know, like y'all just said, he's 24. The best, I think, as someone who might be an enthusiast, I think the best is still yet to come. This is still a guy 18 months ago we were looking at it as a top 5 Dynasty wide receiver. I want 2 firsts for Juju, and your response is?
Hell no.
Right?
It's really hard to pull off.
Yeah.
Right.
I say
a first and a second are too much in my opinion. I think it's a first round pick and that's it.
Yeah, I'm not giving you 2. I'm not giving you 2 first for him.
I wouldn't even give first and a second.
I'd be would any of you, and again, I'm a Juju guy. I'm with J Mike. I'm not selling for 1 first, but would any of you pay 1 first for Juju as he is right now? Would you pay it? Would you even pay a first?
If I had a mid to late first, I would pay a mid to late first, preferably late. I would have to think about mid.
I'm not paying a mid. I'm not paying a mid, but I'll pay a late. If we're talking, if I know it's 11, 12. Mid, you're looking at Jalen Waddle, you're looking at Rashad Bateman, you're looking at Rondale Moore. I'm not paying that for Juju. Late.
How old are those guys?
Huh?
I'm just curious. How old are those guys?
20, 19, 20 years
Okay,
old.
so they're young. All right.
Yeah.
It's not like a
they're
Josh
young guys.
Doxson situation.
Nah, these are all young. They're all young. They're all young players, man. But I'm not paying Chase, Moore, Waddle for Juju. Give me any of those guys over Juju straight up right now.
Man.
Without knowing landing spot, without knowing teams. Their production
Ooh.
profile, age adjusted production. When you're talking about players who broke out at age 18 in the Power 5 conference, when you're talking about players who are going to have a better analytical and production profile than the first wide receiver drafted in the 2020 class in Henry Ruggs, when you're talking about guys who projected to be top 20 picks in the NFL draft, give me those guys. That whole myth that rookie wide receivers, they just don't do anything. That I think 2020 is kicking that shit through the door. It's looking like this is better.
2019 did.
This is looking better than 2014 right now.
This-
That's the Mike Evans.
Whoa!
That's Mike
Whoa!
Evans, OBJ.
That's
This
a
is
hot
looking
take.
better than that. This
I'm
is
glad you
looking
said
better
that
than that.
Too hot.
Yeah,
Too
yeah.
hot. Too hot.
Well, no. Hold on, John. Check this out, though. It messed with me at first when I was thinking about this the other day. But Travis May actually put out a list of about 30 dudes who could be draft eligible next year from the wide receiver position alone, just the wideouts. The list is stupid. Like it is crazy. How
Isn't
many?
it top heavy though? Isn't it top heavy?
No.
Man.
It's some ballers.
Nah,
all
man.
over.
No, man.
Nah, man. It's deep. It like legit running back is thin, but wide receiver, tight end, quarterback, it's deep, man. 2021 is going to be as excited as people were for 2020. I'm telling you now, it's going to be even more hype around this class because we actually are going to have tight ends that are going to be worth a damn. We're going to have just as many, if not more, quarterbacks in the wide receiver position in 2021. On paper, is better than what we have in 2020.
You don't think the depth is going to be affected by the 2022 draft? Like, you don't think that's actually going to carry over?
The what?
The 2022 draft for depth purposes, not for talent overall in the top end?
Nah. Are you saying like the 2021 guys are going to stay and go back to college for another year?
Yeah, not for the top end options, but for some of the depth options. You know, some of the guys that you normally select in the second or third round.
I don't think it'd be any more different than any other year. You know what I mean? You have a couple of guys that are going to come back, but for the most part, the guys that we know that are seniors that have already either opted out of the college football season that we know will be a part of the 2021 class, wide receivers, I can name 12 of them right now that are confirmed in this draft that will have at least day 2 draft capital. It's going to be filthy, man. I'm telling y'all. Man. This is what I do, baby. This is what I do. I'm telling you. It's gonna be lovely, man.
I trust you, man. If I could have an hour and a half podcast by asking Debbie questions, I would, because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing half the time.
And I guess I want to, and John, you were kind of walking through this. I don't want to belabor the Juju point, but I'm curious if we flip this on its head for a moment.
Mhm.
If you have Juju on your all's teams,
I do.
I think that easily this is obviously his lowest selling point. If you're going like his lowest dynasty value, right?
Yeah, I'm holding them.
Easily.
Right. So the question becomes, if you'd give a first and you get him, I would like to think, and let me know if this is crazy. I like to think that I may as well hold him through all of this stuff in Pittsburgh, no matter what comes this season. Just hold out and see what the heck happens in the 9-point scoring season. See where he signs, what happens next. Because I don't think, the bottom, I don't know that it's fallen out yet. But I think it can get really grisly as we go if he continues to have these subpar performances. Deontay passes him in targets, Claypool passes him in targets. Like it could get real grisly. So I'm curious, are you on a position right now where you're like, I'm holding, I'll see what happens? Or are you like, no, I got a first and a second, like I'm good, you can have it?
For me, you have it exactly right in the first scenario, which is he's not going to lose value to me as the Juju owner right now. He's last in the pecking order. It can't get worse than this. I'm excited to see what happens next. You keep bringing up his age. He's the age today in what, his third season? He's the age today that Josh Doxson was when he came into the NFL. There's still so much more left in the tank. And the thing about Juju, and there's a few players like this, he's one of those like magical, fun players, like where his personality kind of shines through in the way he plays and his Dragon Ball celebrations and his Pizza Hut sponsorship and his online gaming teams, his esports teams. Like, you want to love this guy. He's so likable. So throw rationality aside right now. If you told me there's a mystery player and he's 5th on the pecking order on the Steelers and he's getting 2 targets a game for 6 yards, I'd be like, give me a first and a second. But knowing that it's Juju, I have to wait. I'm not going to sell for a first. That's the kind of thing you might regret forever.
Forever is a long time.
Dynasty's a long game, bro.
I'd say more often than not, you'll see players that you miss their peak. Basically, they're not going to peak, come back down, and then come back up to where they were. Thinking of like a kind of a stock market analogy of sorts. Like, that doesn't really happen that often, and he's going to have to land in a pretty spicy spot for that to happen. And I don't know what it is. I heard the Dolphins. Someone wanted that with Tua. Maybe that would be nice, at least from a value perspective, if you wanted to jump ship. But I don't know.
What about Green Bay?
Great
choice.
We have people drafting Marquez Valdez-Scantling in the 8th round. Juju would be good in Green Bay. Like, I'm
Green
confident.
Bay doesn't have a wide receiver too.
Yeah.
Well, no, the issue with Green Bay is Devontae Adams plays in the slot for the majority of the time. So Devontae Adams would have to be forced out of the slot. Meanwhile, Juju's not an outside receiver. He's not the X. And Devontae Adams does very, very well in the slot. So I believe that the passing volume is going to go down in Green Bay long term, especially with Jordan Love potentially taking over the next couple of years. I don't like that late spot.
Honestly,
I don't know how much open cash they have because they have a lot of money invested in the defense.
Devontae Adams would be good anywhere on the field, though.
He hadn't played a lot of slot this year.
There are ideal. I feel like that when we talk about like dynasty stuff and landing spots, I think sometimes we overthink it because does it matter? We just talked about Michael Jordan earlier. Does it matter if Jordan brings the ball up or if he starts on the wing? Probably not. I feel like Devontae is one of those dudes, one of those receivers. It's like, doesn't matter if he lines up in the slot versus outside. Yeah. Maybe a little bit, but how much are you really going to discount that? You know what I mean? I don't know. That's sort of my thought process.
I agree with Edwin. I think sometimes we tend to look at positional spots for elite players. Dude, these dudes they're fucking NFL players, man. Like, they were just saying the stuff about Adam Thielen. Oh my God, who's going to play in the slot? Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson. You figure it out. Adam Thielen's wide receiver 3 in PPR. Justin Jefferson is 7th. I think, I agree with you, but I don't think you could scheme players open. You know what I mean? If you've got 2 of those weapons, whether it's Adams, Juju rotating, because I've seen Adams line out wide multiple times. They had Allen Lazard. Wasn't Allen Lazard actually the big slot? He was running in the slot when he was playing. I just think sometimes with these guys, man, that they'll find a way to get them wherever, man.
So to an extent it was, but in the left slot, Devontae Adams is getting 19.1 points per game. In the right slot, he's getting 17.3. On the outside, he's only getting 11.8. So it's a big difference in fantasy points when he's lining up in the slot versus outside. It's a big difference.
Then when you add, and he's doing that as the focal point of the offense, when you add another elite type wide receiver to the mix, the coverage that's dedicated to the outside wide receiver, which the advantage in the slot is you've got a clean release either way. When you've got a player like a Juju Smith-Schuster in the middle that does command the attention of the defense, well, not only does that help him out, that helps Adams out. So I get you, but to a certain degree, I'm not betting against. He's an elite wide receiver.
But I think it matters in terms of like increments. You know what I mean? Like, it matters incrementally. I think for fantasy purposes, if he's averaging, what do we care if he's averaging 23 versus 21 points a game? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's incremental.
You're talking about six points. You're talking about a massive gap. And meanwhile, the safeties actually help on the outside receiver. Meanwhile, the linebackers help on the inside receiver. And but
the variables aren't. It's not equating for a player like Juju Smith-Schuster. So you got to project that, right? It's not going to be if that's the game we're going to play. then play it all the way out. It's 11 points per game on the outside now with no other help at the wide receiver position. You add another receiver to that
Plus
mix.
a smaller sample.
Like
Admittedly, that's the starting
Smith-Schuster.
point is a smaller sample on the outside.
Right. So I get you, but I do think that if we're gonna if that's the extrapolation that we're gonna do, then I would like to think that having a former 1,500-yard receiver added to the mix would help clear up some of the traffic that Davante Adams withdraws right now on the outside by himself. But
Wouldn't that hurt volume though?
could hurt volume, but it could help efficiency. I mean, it's the what if game, and I guess ultimately for fantasy owners, do you want to run the risk of I'm going to fade that guy because he's not the dominant slot, or are you going to roll with your stud receivers? And for me, I'm taking the stud receivers. I don't give a shit where they line up at. Ultimately, I mean, you could scheme players open, and I would like to think that coaches would be able to do just that with two elite weapons like that on the field. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Not to mention Ben Roethlisberger's definitely done that with Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster, 2 top 5 guys. Aaron Rodgers has definitely done that with 3 wide receivers, nearly 3 top 24 wide receivers, whether it was Jordy or James Jones or whoever. So he can definitely do it. We just talked about Kirk Cousins supported Adam Thielen and Justin Jefferson as 2 top 10 guys. So if we're talking, and not to discredit them, I think they're great receivers, but
I'm about to say, you better watch your mouth, cuz.
hey, whoa. He's number 7 overall wide receiver, Justin Jefferson.
Watch it.
That's amazing. Honestly, hearing that is amazing, and I didn't know that before coming here. That's honestly unbelievable. Like, I'm tempted to check, but I believe you. That's impressive.
So
People think of Kirk as above.
Yeah,
I think I'm just more concerned about them paying 2 slot receivers to move Davante Adams to the outside when Davante Adams is doing great in the slot as it is.
Hey Chase, was that the splits that you gave were those this season, or was that either like last season, or was that career wise?
That was this season. However, I did do some research on it, and Davante Adams has actually been overall like about 50% efficiency on the outside versus in the slot, even when back to the days of Jordy Nelson. So even when Jordy Nelson was slotted to the slot and Davante Adams would line up on the outside, and it was his rookie year, so I'm not saying like that should be the go-to stats of all time. But Davante Adams is overly efficient in the slot. Meanwhile, he's very average on the outside. And once again, we have like Montgomery and stuff in the slot, so it's not like great receivers up to of course Ray's point. But it's something where I'd rather play. I'd rather play Davante Adams in the slot, and I don't see the purpose in floating money that way.
Man,
Listen,
how often? Sorry, one thing, J. Mike. How often will we have 2, top 10 wide receivers in fantasy, and their QB be 20th? What?
Yo.
I mean, Jameis Winston was even putting up good numbers with Godwin and Evans as 2 top 5 guys. Gee whiz,
That's rough.
gross.
That seems impossible.
Yeah.
I need Roto Lounge, and shout out to you, Roto Lounge. I appreciate you. Thank you for kicking it with us this night. I'm gonna need you to not put this kind of negative energy in the atmosphere ever again. Especially if the Jets don't figure it out at coach. I'm gonna need you to keep all good things away from the Meadowlands. Juju and T-Law together, which sounds beautiful. If it's under Gase, I will revolt.
Oh, Lord. He will not be there.
That means that T-Law, Juju, and Denzel Mims will all be under the same roof, which should be something that should be celebrated, should be applauded, should be exciting. And the only vision that I have in my head is the homie Peter Howard basically walking through what it would look like if he was to physically tell Gase that he's fired if he ran the Jets. That's what runs through my mind is when Peter went through that exercise, which was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Him basically trying to be able to bring any and everyone from Adam Gase's past, including Peyton Manning, in the room just to fire Adam Gase on the spot. So Roto Lounge, you are taking something beautiful and just ruining it right now.
Peter is killing me in the chat. Hilarious.
He just goes in, man. He goes full on troll, and it's amazing. Sorry, Edwin, you got a dip. I'm sorry. Can you plug away, sir? What you got
Yeah,
going?
just follow me on Twitter, folks. This has been great. I appreciate you guys having me on. Follow me on Twitter at FBInjuryDoc. Got to bounce, do other non-fantasy related stuff, but this was fun, man. Got to pick all your brains, got to listen in on the combo. So I added exactly 0 value. So cheers to that.
Hey, you got to
You
keep
say
us posted.
adult things.
Yeah,
You got to keep us posted on a 1-5 team, man. We're all pulling for you. Rest of the
Bro.
season. Crush
Bro, I
that
think
home
I'm just
league.
gonna delete the app at this point. Like after that last night, just
fantasypoints.com.
You want to see that
Go
one
to
more time,
fantasypoints.com.
Edwin? One more
say what now?
I was just wondering if you wanted to run the tape one more time.
as a parting gift.
Oh, no.
Oh, brutal.
For those of you listening in podcast form, we are watching the Kenyon Drake 69 yards.
His number's so ugly too. 41.
Ready for the
Where's
punt?
41 at running.
This is
back,
you,
man?
Edwin. Punt. You just punted.
That's my fantasy chance. That's my
That was
playoff
you.
chance.
Yeah.
I just punted him all the way around.
That's amazing.
Thanks, Edwin. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
Take it
I'll
easy,
see you
Subscribe,
guys.
Edwin.
Appreciate it, guys.
Later on.
That's so funny. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's great. That was amazing.
I was reading the comments, and Matt Renshaw. Hey, Matt. I don't know if first time here. Maybe Matt's a regular. Maybe he's not. But Matt Renshaw thinks that Juju would be a good fit in San Francisco. You guys remember? I want to say 2012 to 2014. Yeah, there it is again. 2012 to 2014. I want to say Anquan Bolden was on that team, and something happened to the Niners because ever since Anquan was there for his 3 or 4 years or whatever, they've been obsessed with receivers built like Anquan who play like Anquan. Like, have you ever seen, in your history of watching football, a team more dedicated than one type of receiver to one type of receiver than the Niners? Like Debo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk and Dante Pettis, they're all the exact same guy. Dante
Wait,
Pettis
did you say the same thing, by the way, Ray?
Yeah, the Raiders.
Yeah.
Raiders. Oh yeah, pure speed, of course.
That's about it.
Right.
But no,
That's the Raiders. But
you're
yeah,
right though, man.
They got a type. If Percy Harvin was a rookie today, my God, he would be a Niner in 5 seconds, first round, no matter what.
Yeah, they do have a type, man. They want those yak guys. They want those yak. Even Kittle, man. I mean, just yak monster out there, right?
Seriously, is this compensation for maybe a failing of Jimmy G? Like, is this how Jimmy G succeeds?
Man, okay, so I want to ask this. Now we're turning this. I want to ask this. Every year, and we talk about these draft classes. Everyone freaks out about rookie picks, but when you're thinking about the quarterbacks, we talked about Trevor Lawrence a little bit. Like, I really went through all 32 teams thinking, like, how many actual quarterback locations are plausible for these guys to land into? There are some spots where there's some shitty quarterbacks playing, man. Like, when you really start going down the line, and I know Old Man Rivers had himself a game last week, but I mean, the Colts, the Washington football team, the Jets, the Jaguars, the Saints, you got to start thinking about a contingency plan with the Saints, the Steelers, the 49ers, the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, there are a lot of teams where you just like, man, the Giants. What are the Giants? Is Daniel Jones truly the answer? The Denver Broncos with Drew Lock. Like, to be the best in the world. Like, think about that for a minute. These 32 players, regardless of what we think about them, like from a fantasy or NFL team perspective, think about how good you have to be to occupy that one job in the world. Like, you're that good.
Yep.
And those dudes fucking suck compared to Dak Prescott and Patrick Mahomes. And like, that's just how unreal. Like, when you start to really think about how talented these guys are, it's easy for us to sit on the couch and talk about blah, blah, blah. But like, these dudes are legit, man. And when you start looking at these spots, there's a lot of opportunity for these rookies or whomever, whatever class it's from, to come in and occupy some of these quarterback spots, because I don't think it's like half the league is probably unsettled at that position, to be honest with you.
So, Ray, I got a question then, because T-Law is that dude, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that he is unbreakable then? Do you think that QB landing spots matter at all? Do you think that there's a scenario where he's just not exactly supported and coached properly, regardless of how good he is, the talent, whatever.
Jets,
Don't care.
Jets.
Is there a scenario where this could go south?
I think that's always a possibility. You look at what happened with Josh Rosen. I didn't think Josh Rosen was a bad
Right.
quarterback prospect coming out of UCLA, but I mean, when you're just kind of thrown in the fire, right, with not a lot of help around you, and you take a beat down. I believe it was Jimmy Clausen. There's something on YouTube where he talked about his confidence just being ruined. He was a second round pick, and the Bears threw him out there, and he just like he came back and said, like, I was literally like I was seeing ghosts for the remainder of my career. And while a lot of people give Sam Darnold shit, a lot of people don't realize that coming out of high school, Sam Darnold was a linebacker / quarterback. Like USC didn't even know if he was going to play quarterback when he got to campus. Like they were still debating on him being a linebacker or playing quarterback. He was erratic as hell at USC. He was fun, but he was throwing picks left and right at USC. So when you've got that type of quarterback that didn't have a chance to develop, and then you've got this, offensive quote unquote genius that's not very good, and you just throwing him out there, I do think there's potential for there's no other in any other job in life, your confidence can be rattled. If you're a truck driver, right? And you're driving these big rigs and you hit a patch of ice and slide and wreck your big rig or whatever the case may be. If you're just thrown right back out there, it could cause like mental scarring. Like that's real stuff, man. Like, and these players, we talk about mental health, and I think we all need to take that more serious. And we look at this game as just, oh, he just sucks out there. But mentally, if these dudes are broken, man, and you just can't continue to throw a broken product out there, why do you think it's just going to change? Like, I don't know. I think one of the best things to happen, and who knows how his NFL career is going to play out, but one of the best things to happen to Jameis Winston was the fact that he's not starting right now, and he's sitting behind a Drew Brees. Now, is he ever going to develop into a viable NFL starter? Who knows? But get his ass off the field and let him relax and calm down and repair some of that confidence. And who knows, man? But I fully believe in that type of stuff, man. So can T-Law be broken?
Yeah,
he could be, but I think that dude's he's built different, man. I mean, from his freshman season till now, sometimes you see it and that's it. And I just think that regardless of where he lands, he's going to be a successful quarterback.
Do you think Andrew Luck was put in a good situation?
I don't think he was.
Yeah.
I don't think he was.
Terrible offensive line.
I really don't either.
And somebody tweeted yesterday that players like Luck, they're floor raisers. And I tweeted it out. I truly believe that if you drop Trevor Lawrence on this horrible Jets team, I'm not saying they're a playoff team. I'm not saying they're a 4 or 5 win team, but I think it's a better football team with him behind center than right now Sam Darnold. Like they're floor raising type players. Andrew Luck elevated that team. It's like LeBron James took that Larry Hughes, Eric Snow-led team to the NBA Finals. He's a floor-raising type player, and Trevor Lawrence is that kind of guy. He elevates his team, and, we'll see, man, but I think he's one of the best quarterback prospects we've seen ever. He's that good.
And he's going to elevate the floor for whatever team he lands on, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be, a career-long quarterback. That doesn't mean he's going to put in 15 years. We've seen it happen time and time again. Alex Smith was behind a terrible, terrible coaching staff over there when he got drafted to the 49ers, and he was the number 1 overall pick. And he's not anything close to what, of course, Trevor Lawrence was, but still, it happens. The biggest thing, though, is the fact that over the past 3 years prior to 2020, by the time that we hit week 7, we've only had 13 teams that have less than 2 losses. This year, we have 10. So 3 years, 13 teams. This year, 10 teams that have less than 2 losses, which is obviously 1 or 0. And a lot of people would be like, oh, well, that's because, games were rescheduled. There was only 1 team in that 10 teams that actually played 5 games. Every other team played 6 games overall. So with that being said, go ahead.
Do you think that's for like football reasons, or is the shortened off season and the COVID issues, are those making the results of games more extreme? Like, is it more logical that a team would be undefeated or have only 1 loss?
No, I did a lot of research on this, and honestly, it broke down the point as to where, like, the off-season injuries were going to happen, but there shouldn't have been a scoring explosion. However, once I broke it down, I realized, like, after I was wrong after 4 weeks, the matchups were actually what took over in this case scenario, and that's why we've had such high scoring over the first 2 weeks. The scoring should average out over the season. We've had some of the best offenses with the worst defenses. For example, Cowboys, Seattle Seahawks. They've gone up against each other. Atlanta Falcons. They've gone up against each other multiple times. So with that being said, I didn't do that research, and I spent 11 hours on this and forgot to dive into the matchup aspect of things. So no, that's not a reason as to why. It's the fact that better teams, like players, are realizing that in order to win a championship, you have to take less money. And running backs, number one, are realizing this. Linebackers are starting to realize this, and safeties as well. So once again, with that being said, it has to do with more the fact that defenses or teams as a whole are getting more dominant. So yeah, we have 10 teams this year that have one or zero losses. So
Chase, I got a question for you, and really a question for everybody. By the way, for the audience at home, Ray wants you all to know that he's going on a fast food. It's called a Bang Bang right now, where you go to 2 fast food restaurants and you eat as much as you can in a short span. No, Ray's eating a salad.
Sounds like a draft.
Made sure that we know.
Bang Bang draft.
But Chase, you keep bringing up kind of these extraneous things, which are important to consider: salary cap, contracts, stuff a guy like me isn't considering. In order, and I hate to put you on the spot, but in order, can you give me your top 3 or your top 5 positions that teams should prioritize paying out? Because it sounds like you almost advocate the rookie deal QB and then spending money elsewhere. So I'd be curious to know where you think money should be spent.
J-Mike does not look happy.
This one's for anybody. I pointed it at Chase, but I also teased Ray about his salad. So it's up for grabs.
No, Chase, I was rereading what Ray put because Gabe had me thinking I was crazy. But I'm like, wait a second, did I read that wrong? So I was like focused on.
No, he said salad.
Just your response and just Ray going to get his salad is just so funny. BRB gonna go get a salad.
He specified his salad. It's like, Ray, you're buff. We know.
Yeah, I heard y'all talking shit the whole time. I don't
care. Gotta go get a salad.
I do a Bang Bang for real. I'll go to Jack in the Box and McDonald's on one trip. I don't care. They see the bags too. When I'm at Jack in the Box and I got McDonald bags in the passenger seat, I don't care. No shame.
I got a bag. Yeah.
That's
oh man. So with that being said, the 3 positions that are least paid, right, is center, safety, and defensive tackle prior to this. Or no, I'm sorry, center. Wait, is it center, defensive center, tight end, running back?
Okay.
They were all under 10 million prior to this year, up until the tight end got completely, flattered with contracts. So that's a whole different animal now. So obviously the pay up for the tight ends that are able to be pass catchers and broken tackle type guys are worth paying. However, the main positions that you got to pay up for are your defensive captains. The middle linebacker position is a huge one. They control the offense. Obviously with quarterback position, that's huge. I think that the wide receiver is kind of overblown because there is so much talent that's coming into the league right now with the wide receiver position and in running back position as well. You don't need to pay them. It's something where I like my cornerbacks. I like my free safety. I like my tight end. I like my quarterback. What do you guys think?
I think you're right about running back. That's for sure.
It's just a waste of fucking money.
J-Mike hates when I talk bad about running back.
I really do.
That's why Kareem Hunt, and that's why Kareem Hunt is teaming up with another guy. That's why guys are starting to want to get into groups with other good running backs so they can prolong their career for 10 years.
Right.
I think Kareem, from a paying standpoint, regardless, I feel like what we've learned at this point is that you have to get quarterback right. It doesn't matter if you draft these undrafted, pay them. Like, if you screw up quarterback consistently, you will you will reap the absolute poop show, weeds in the garden that you have sown if you don't get that right.
We see that with, of course, we see that with man, I just had a brain fart over there in Indianapolis. You know,
yeah, with Phillip Rivers.
Phillip Rivers, like you have a great offensive line, you have decent wide receivers, and he can't hit a fucking hot dog in a hallway.
It hurts. It hurts.
So I want to chime in with this one. I think the paying the players, right? You pay the good fucking players. I don't care what position they are. You pay the good players.
The stars are the good players.
The good players. I mean, the good players normally. I mean, the stars, good players. Are they not synonymous, one and the same? But I think the key of the teams that seem to win and go deep in the playoffs is the scouting department. It's finding players like a Tyreek Hill in the 5th round and then developing that player from the 5th round. It's finding those gems. They won a Super Bowl without Clyde Edwards-Helaire. They had Damian Williams. Yes, Chris Jones was a fantastic pick. He was a 1st-round pick, but he was drafted by the Chiefs. It's finding players who fit the system and developing those players. If you can't pay somebody, you can't pay them. But I mean, if the philosophy is to move players when they're up for contract, got to get rid of them, don't want to pay them $100 million, then Aaron Donald's not on the Los Angeles Rams. Jalen Ramsey's not there. You can't not pay those guys. I really think the separator is finding, whether that's bargain bin, whether that's the draft, it's finding those players and then developing them to fit whatever scheme you're in. I think that's a big part of it, in my opinion, because you can't pay everybody. You can't buy. This isn't baseball. You can't buy your team. You can't go out there and buy all those players. So at some point, you're going to have to develop these guys, and some teams seem to be better at developing their talent than other teams.
And that's what I'm wondering about QB.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's football, man.
And what J Mike was saying, like if you miss on QB, but what if they didn't? I mean, it's all like just speculation and blah blah blah. You're talking, but like, I mean, who knows if Rosen really got a good look, or Darnold at this point is kind of not getting a fair shot. I think at this point, like, and the same could happen to the God, Trevor Lawrence. So I don't know.
Just going back to Kenneth Dixon. I was about to say, bro, he
landed in the best spot. That was just
yeah.
Do you guys know
maybe he didn't, because Dobbins ain't giving shit right now. Maybe he landed in the worst spot.
And I see somebody say Tyreek didn't fall because of talent. Yeah, I understand that. But again, Tyreek wasn't looked at as some high-end NFL asset coming out of Oklahoma State. Tyreek Hill wasn't even a wide receiver at Oklahoma State.
He was a return man. He was a
return man and a gadget running back wide receiver hybrid. He was not a wide receiver coming out. So yes, he had off-field issues, but he was never viewed as a 1st-round pick or a 2nd-round pick.
Correct.
So do you guys know what Sam Darnold's completion percentage is?
Oh, is it double digits? Is it 2 digits? I need to know where to think.
No. Sam Darnold's completion percentage in a clean pocket.
Oh, pardon me.
It's probably really good.
Yeah, has he ever had one? Like, what's my percentage in a clean pocket? Like, has he
never had one, to be honest. But no, he has had one, and it's actually ranked 1st in the NFL. He is the best quarterback with a clean pocket in the NFL when it comes to completion percentage. Now, I don't know what his dump off percentage is, because he probably dumps off a whole lot to Jamison Crowder. But let's see. It's 85.1% completion percentage in clean pocket, which is 1st in the NFL.
Sam Darnold, he's a lot like Juju to me, and I love Sam Darnold. Let me start by saying, if you're coming out of USC and the number one thing as a quarterback people are bashing you for is your fucking face, like, you got to have some thick skin, man. You got to have some thick skin. You're coming out, you're 21 years old, you're a rookie, you're playing on the Jets. It sucks. The guy goes out there and does his job, often hurt, every week, and he's not as bad as people think. And he's younger than Joe Burrow, man. That might be not true, but he's around Joe Burrow's age, and he's been in the league a while. So I cut him a lot of slack. And if he wasn't on the Jets, I think he'd be completely serviceable. So no disrespect to Sam Darnold.
He is younger. You got it.
I agree.
I get so excited, guys. Stop. We gotta let Jim Mike talk. He just got excited for the first time I've ever seen him get excited.
This is great. I get pretty excited on this show, like probably over some of the sillier things. So don't mind me. I'm just here to have a good time. I bring you. So John, this will be perfect for you. We're in a super flex league together. You're hurting at quarterback, and I bring you my Sam Darnold, and I want your Juju Smith-Schuster. Who are you taking?
Whoa, that's brutal. Okay, oh shit, that's brutal. Okay, I'm trying to remove my biases here because I'm seriously Juju to the bone. I think Juju has a better chance of rehabilitating his career at his position. That's my tough answer. It's really close, though, and I'm for sure buying Sam Darnold in Superflex leagues. I'm for sure buying him because there's a lot of playing time left. There's so much. What is he, 23? You said he's younger than Joe Burrow. He's 23. He's been playing for 3 or 4 years. Fuck out of here. Like, he has the tools, and we've seen it. He's under Adam Gase right now. They traded away Robbie Anderson. What would you do? What would
Don't
you
cry.
do?
Don't cry.
Trubisky.
What
Trubisky.
would you do?
Trubisky. Do you think he legitimately? Do you think he's got a chance to rehabilitate his career somewhere else? Trubisky.
I'm so glad you said that, Ray, because I love Mitch Trubisky. Guess what? Remember my Chase Claypool tirade earlier? Ray, if you get 6 touchdowns in a game, you're fucking good. Period. 6 touchdowns.
Dude, this Tennessee has him on a whole different level.
For real. If I don't care if they were all to the right side of the field, Mitch Trubisky has a 6-touchdown game. He is good. He is capable, okay? He can be a starter somewhere. And you know what? You put him on the Colts, and he'll do better than Phil Rivers, who I love.
Why do you love him?
The 6 TD game.
Oh,
huh?
I'm from San Diego. He was my guy forever. So
I don't know what's more funny, his outburst, John's outburst, or Peter Howard saying dirty pockets sound more fun.
Yo, listen.
John is hype. Like, you're getting me fired up. Like, I'm ready to go trade for Trubisky somewhere.
dude, he's gonna cost you like a third. I have Mitch everywhere. He's free. Everyone's over him.
It's crazy. Wasn't he one of those MVP
Mitch
candidates
Trubisky.
coming into last season? Like, he was one of those players that people were like, he's an MVP candidate.
Yeah, he
going
made the
into
Pro Bowl.
last season.
That's right. Do you guys remember his promo clip where he's throwing to who was it, Mike Evans? And he's just having
and
the
then-
hardest time.
And then Russell
Mike
Wilson
Evans-
just drops a dime, like right after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Russ Wilson out here just doing his magic, and Mitch Trubisky can't hit Mike Evans with a 7'6" wingspan. He's maybe bad, but he has the magic. You don't get 6 TDs unless you got the magic.
My man just said 6 TDs. That means you're good. And he
That
said,
means you're
maybe-
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
he's
Chase
bad.
Claypool.
What about
Yeah,
6
Chase
interceptions by
Claypool.
Nathan Peterman?
That's right.
Yeah, Peterman's bad. Peterman's bad.
I know.
Peterman's
Does that mean
bad.
you're bad? Which makes sense.
Okay. J Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Uh
I'll
oh.
talk to you, brother.
Uh
I'll
oh.
talk to you. Minshew.
Oh gosh.
What are we doing with Gardner, man?
Oh my God.
What are we doing with
dude.
Minshew, man?
I
What are we
just
doing
saw
with you?
Cody's comment. Oh my God.
This is so. And Gabe, I'm curious. Obviously, we you and I haven't talked about this. Us being the resident Jaguars fans here.
I left Gabe out on purpose. I'll tell you why in a second. Go ahead.
I know.
Go ahead.
I know. It's this is the thing. If we have the opportunity to get T-Law, then we don't have a discussion. We can pack Gardner up. We can send him wherever he wants to. One way trip to Hoosville, USA, wherever. One of my issues that I'm having right now is, what do you do when someone's presented with an entirely new situation from a play caller standpoint? What do you do when the organization has continued to fail its players on many levels through the last several years. What do you do? How do I judge Gardner Minshew when I've seen you be really, really stinking good, but I'm also seeing you bottom out and do like not great things? I think this season, I think I heard a stat today. Somebody said he's got 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in all but one game this year, something like that. So
He
a
had
lot of
300
that might
yards
be
and something.
I mean, a
he's
lot of that
actually
might
been really
be empty
successful.
calories because the defense is awful. And if people aren't getting it yet, the Jaguars defense is the get right game for any offenses right now.
Mhm.
So start your offensive players against Jacksonville, whether or not Miles Jack is playing, whether or not CJ Henderson's playing. That's a free tip. You can have it. You don't even have to log on to patreon.com/theopenbar/the hall pass/all gas to get that information.
Sorry,
All
Ray.
that to say, I like a lot of what Gardner does often. I feel like there are way too many drives where things stall out and it looks terrible. And I think that I don't know, like you were saying earlier, Ray, I don't think Gardner's a floor raiser. I think that he can be the sum of the pieces around him. And I think that if you give him a really good supporting cast, he can be somebody that figures around and gives you a top 12 season from a fantasy perspective. But and I wrote that down on my little board here, floor raiser, because I love that idea. And I think even somebody said something to the effect of, are they the trailer or the truck? I can't remember who had the example, but are they someone that you put the team on his back and let him drive, or does the team have to bring you forward? I think Gardner's probably a trailer, which is disappointing to say, but that's how I see it.
I'm really sad to know that we only provided, with all of us combined, one thing that you wrote down.
No,
Sorry to say.
here's a problem.
I got my board here, and
Here's the problem. I write down on little. They're not even sticky notes. They're just little pieces of paper, and
You can't even show those because there's nothing there. We haven't added any kind of value.
I'm getting into a greater
I'm
point.
just kidding.
So I just recently got this little fancy doohickey of a thing, and what happens is, as fancy as it is, if you hit this little button at the bottom, it erases. And so what I can't
this
do,
the 2020 Etch-a-Sketch? What is this?
yeah, basically. So what I can't do is I can't go to grab it and then write something down without first hitting this lock button, because then I lose everything that I write throughout the episode.
Aw.
So anyway,
That's sad.
yeah. So I need to rewrite down floor raiser again before I forget again.
Yeah.
But that's
Thanks,
my
Chase.
Gardner take, Ray. I'm curious why you took me down that dark road just now.
Oh, Ray,
Ray.
you're muted.
Embarrassing. Subscribe to patreon.com/allgas.
I'm going to go grab a slice of pizza since Ray just grabbed the freaking salad.
No, I wanted to hear what you were going to say, because I was going to ask Gabe to talk some sense into you if you said that he was the I like him, man. Like, I like him.
Yes.
But I think you said it best, Jay Mike. I don't know if he's ever going to be able to carry a team, right, and elevate those around him. And the bigger point is, he was a 6th, 7th round pick, and they're going to have a new coach. Like, how much is really tied to Minshew, which is the same reason I have a little bit of trepidation with James Robinson. I know a lot of people love James Robinson, but have we not seen this story play out before with undrafted free agent running backs? And while everybody wants to say Arian Foster, you rush to outlier situation with Arian Foster. And I know he's a bigger back and profiles as a more traditional 3-down running back than a Phillip Lindsay, but Phillip Lindsay went back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, and they still went ahead and got Melvin Gordon in there.
Yes.
So I don't know, man. I'm in dynasty seasonal leagues. I'm all about riding James Robinson to the championship if you've got him. But in dynasty leagues, I think the window to sell him and move him for that 1st-round pick that he was going for a couple of weeks ago is closing, man. Like, if you took advantage, great, but I'd take a 2nd-round pick for him right now.
You're exactly right. And I was kind of hoping this would come up. And I like that we're all vaguely on the same page with Minshew. Ray, you started by saying, I like him. And that's the thing. If Gardner Minshew didn't have a cool mustache and cool hair and fucking aviators and a bandana, if he wasn't a poor man's Cam Newton, would anyone give a shit every week when he's worse than Ryan Fitzpatrick? No one's looking at Ryan Fitzpatrick to run their team long term. Age be damned. Gardner Minshew on his best day is half as good as Ryan Fitzpatrick. But he's cool, so we want him to be fun. We call him a gunslinger, when in reality, he's a backup.
Dang.
Come on, Fitzpatrick's cool too, though.
Damn.
You see him with the button down.
John is bringing the heat.
Yo,
He's just a guy. He's literally a Jag, boys. He's a
Oh,
Jag
man.
on the Jags. Case closed.
Man,
I mean, is he not though? Like, is he? Is he not?
it just don't feel very good when hear that. You know what I'm saying? Being a fan, it just don't feel good to say.
I'm sorry,
But you, I mean,
J-Man.
you're right. But you can't say that about my man. I can say that about my man. You
You're
can't
right.
say that about. No, I'm just playing.
Look, he's
I think he's
cool.
one of the better QBs for this franchise in quite a
Agreed.
while. Like
Agreed.
quite a while, actually.
Agreed.
I mean, and that maybe that's not saying much, but it's
But I'm asking, didn't Bortles have a good season before he fell off? Like, I'm not even being funny. Didn't Bortles have
Yeah,
a good
a
season?
couple of them.
Yes.
Elevated by
Fantasy wise, a couple of them.
elevated by exceptional
Wait.
talent at the wide receiver position,
Mm-hmm.
a defense that propped him up amazingly,
Big time defense.
Yeah.
i.e. Tebow-esque, right? For the year that they were just turned. I mean, because I mean, let's keep it a buck, and I'm a big Tebow fan, but like that's what happened. Like and the turnovers that they caused that year put them in amazing positions to be able to work with a ton of short fields and all sorts of good stuff, right? But I think that's the thing. You hit the nuts of, hey, we got this beautiful truck. I mean, what is it? I can't even talk truck lingo. I was going to try and make it up, like Cummins diesel 4500 with the 6-8 wheels on it, wild as a mug, taking up a bunch
Like
of
an
parking
18-wheeler.
spaces. Yeah. But this one's a killer shit. Okay. So
Wait. Joe, just
Finish it, son.
That's two Yin Yang twin references tonight.
we were seamless with all of them too.
So when you have a quarterback, right, and you can't name the second option on the team as being that main guy, right, when it comes to receiving options. Meanwhile, you can't name 5 guys on their defense. The quarterback is safe. The quarterback is 100% safe to keep on your roster and safe to play. You know, moving forward, maybe a little bit of a question mark. But when it comes to this year load,
Oh, the year. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
this year,
arguing. Yeah, I'm talking long. I'm talking dynasty. I'm
Well-
talking if they're sitting there on the clock at 103 because the Jets are going to be 101.
Yep.
And Justin Fields is sitting there at 103.
why are
they
they 1
pass-
3?
Do they pass? I'm just throwing it out there. I'm making it a little more challenging, right? Justin Fields is sitting there. Do they pass him up for Gardner Minshew? Like,
Justin Fields won't be sitting there because Washington is going to be there at 102 to take Justin Fields.
Do they
or the
pass-
Giants.
Do they pass on Trey Lance?
yeah, Trey Lance
Singletary
or
say.
or Kyle Trask out of Florida or Zach Wilson from BYU. I'm just
No.
no man. J. Mike said it. You got to get the quarterback position right, and the offensive weapons around him aren't bad. I don't believe are they? The offensive line is improved. I think it's isn't it a above average offensive line? You've got Laviska Shenault, Keelan Cole, and DJ Chark, and then you've got the top right now undrafted free agent that's playing like one of the better running backs in the NFL. So offensively, what's the excuse?
There you go.
Is it the system that's kind of somewhat succeed? Like we're saying positive things about it, but their team is bad, or they're not winning. I mean, that doesn't necessarily translate to good as far as fantasy. Like we're talking fantasy here, or if a team is good. But is it a good system though? You said that I don't know who said it, but that they're getting a new coach next year. So what's that system going to look like? Is that going to be good for the players that already exist there? Is that going to be good for the alleged QB that they're bringing in? Is it even good to even waste the potential 2 or 3 years to work on Minshew and make him better and keep building, revamp that defense? I don't know what the defensive class looks like coming into the season, if that's solid up top, if there's some guys to mess around with that, those top 3-4 spots. But I wouldn't be surprised if they did go defense.
Why are they getting a new coach?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I would feel they would have done that already last year, honestly. And they elected not to do that. And now, like, why would they do it now? That at the end of this season would be interesting, just because like they kind of knew what they were getting into, I would think, by like releasing everyone, trading everyone. Like, how
weren't
could
they
we
close
succeed?
to doing it this past season though? If I'm not mistaken,
no, they were, and they decided not to.
No, they blamed it on Coughlin.
Mm.
They blamed it on the personnel department. They didn't blame it on
the head coach. Let's make an open bar bet. Whoever, if you don't think they're going to get a new coach, since Chase and Gabe don't think that's happening, right? Marrone is safe. What are we betting on this one? Because I think if they, I'm not even going to preface it. They ain't winning shit, so they're going to keep losing. They're going to have a new coach. They're gonna have a new coach. So what y'all want to put on this? What y'all want to do, like a fun thing?
Ray, listen.
Let's have some fun.
I don't trust the Jacksonville franchise. I just think from my brain perspective, why would they not fire him last year if they're just going to fire him this year?
That's a good question, Gabe. Why the hell did the Texans fire Bill O'Brien right now after he just traded off?
Yeah, I don't trust franchises. Hopkins. I don't trust Jacksonville. I never have.
He's in charge of the personnel department.
So this Texans offense could be free.
I mean, just because these
get
teams
lifted.
The time to fire Bill O'Brien was when he went to the GM and said, "Hey GM, I think I'm getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins." And the GM will say, "Ha ha, you're fired." And that was the end of the transaction.
Oh, there
Firing
we go.
him mid-season is crazy. Even if it's going to work, even if it's good, it's still crazy. It should have happened a long time ago, or maybe it should have happened after. To me, that was nuts. And Chase, did you say butt chug? He's nodding yes, folks. Just making sure. I wanted to make sure.
Intervention time, man.
I saw the most.
I didn't want to do it.
Ray would never do. I just wanted to think of the most obscure thing that Ray would never do.
I have seen Ray eat baby food.
But if Jason Garrett claps, all right. If Jason Garrett's behind him clapping, Ray gets that tube out and pops it up. I tell you what.
I did watch
Ray's motivated.
We are feeding. So my fiance and I, we have cats, and one of them, he's on a special diet right now, and he has to eat baby food, chicken baby food. And I will tell you, Ray, as I'm feeding him this food, I thought of you eating it on Pete's show as part of that bet.
I saw that too.
I feel for you, man. Baby food is the most revolting shit I've ever smelled in my life. Like, my cat barely wants to eat it.
He liked it, didn't he? Ray liked the baby food.
Did you like it, Ray?
Bullshit. It was expired prune baby food. Why would I like that?
He loved it.
He did not like it.
No, I did not like it at all. It was disgusting. But I'm down to do whatever for the people, man. I'm down to do whatever for the people. I believe that they're going to have a new coach. That's what I believe. Doug Marrone hasn't done. I get everything around him, but what has he done to warrant having that job again for another year?
I agree, but like,
I don't
do that in
disagree with
2019.
Yeah,
it's just weird that that didn't happen yet. That's
all. You know
I'm
what's been weird is we could look back over the past like 3 years, just 3 years, and things that people said would never happen. A team would never draft a quarterback in the first round in the top 10 and then dump him after a season. And we saw the Cardinals do that. And everybody kept saying that won't happen. They'll never do that.
Wasn't that 11?
What'd you say?
No, wait, maybe that's Josh Allen.
Dude, 11? You can't. Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something.
Let's hear it.
Let me tell you something, man. When it comes to these drafts and these
nobody fucks around.
You ain't got to correct. He was drafted top 10. All right. And they got rid of him for Kyler Murray. And everybody said that wouldn't happen. So with Marrone, Bill O'Brien gone, these teams are. It seems like they're getting shorter and shorter. Their patience with their quarterbacks and developing them shorter. Patience with these coaches, like it's a what have you done for me lately league, and we just see. I mean, they're literally talking about Daniel Jones right now. If he doesn't show well, what do the Giants do at the top of the draft? You know what I mean? I mean, them days of giving people 5-6 years to fucking try to figure it out and we'll coach them up, man. No, we ain't gonna coach you up. We'll go draft Justin Fields. You can't get the job done. See you. You're gone. You know what I mean? You can't get the job done. We'll find somebody else. Like all that. We got time to develop them. I don't know, man. It's just my observation.
I'm with you. TikTok league.
TikTok league. Dodgers one in the hole. Excuse me, one. I messed that up. Dodgers win.
They have one win.
I messed that up. Dodgers win. I'm sorry.
Why are you talking about baseball when the Bachelorette is on tonight?
Who's winning the Bachelorette right now?
What?
Huh?
Who's winning the Bachelorette right now?
I heard things were getting spicy this season. Someone told me that there was going to be 2 Bachelorettes, or like that one was going to be replaced or something. I don't know. But if you want to subscribe to our Bachelorette rankings, head to patreon.com/theopenbar.
Hall pass.
/Hall pass.
/Hall pass.
All right, man.
Hall pass draft.
Oh God.
Oh man, stop, man. Come on, man.
we can pair it with the outros, man. It's fine. Hall pass draft.
I love
and
it.
it's strictly NFL. We don't even have to get dirty with it.
Perfect.
It's okay, J Mike. We won't talk
Thank
about we won't go there, all right? Look, what?
You trying to get me murked in my own home, man.
I know, I really do. I do.
Hey, can I ask one question about these rookie running backs that we were all excited about? How do y'all feel today? I mean, how do y'all feel today? Because this was I've talked about. I feel like we as fantasy analysts really like. I'm just throwing them out there. Generational. They're coming in smashing. Jonathan Taylor, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Swift. And all of them have been, I mean, if we're looking at who's looked the best, it's the undrafted guy, right? James Robinson is producing more than these other guys. I mean, is that something that we do? Is that what we do? Do we cause this? Is it this echo chamber that we live in that causes us to have this over expectation for these guys, or what?
We're not even wrong yet. We're not. So I was joking earlier, and I said dynasty is a long game, but really, really, really it is. And I promise you here on this show that at some point in the next year, we're going to look at like one Jonathan Taylor run, and we're going to say, holy shit, this guy's got it. This guy's got it. It's just going to take one breakaway run like we saw at the college level all the time. And we're going to say the best running back behind the best O-line just made all the sense in the world. It doesn't look that way right now, 6 games in. But I'm not ready to throw in the towel and say we were just wrong about all of them. There's a lot of games left to play, and there was no offseason at all. So I'm holding tight.
I think you mean DeAndre
still
Swift,
stuck in the echo chamber.
Fair. Fair.
I think you mean DeAndre Swift. I'm just saying.
Swift is good.
No, the man, the whole concept is just, getting behind your guy. And, there's certain guys that we hype up and there's certain guys that we do it with. But the whole thing is the multiverse, when you're in a multiverse and you're inside of your world, you promote certain guys, you hate on certain guys. And like Edwin brought up, they rarely hit, they rarely actually, clash together. So the multiverse is where it's at. And depending on which multiverse you're a part of is where certain running backs will succeed and certain running backs will fail.
All right.
Well, I mean,
I hate the Ravens.
Gotta get on the Gus bus, man. Gus Edwards, he's fun every week.
Well, I think you and Gabe, you'll remember we talked about when we had a very long discussion a month plus back about Cam Akers, and we talked about expectations. And Ray, I literally tell this to people probably once a week, whether it be new hires at the job, whether it be my kids, and I just let people apply how they so choose. But I heard it from Jalen Rose, and it stuck with me for several years now. Happiness is a function of expectations, specifically when it comes to customer service. Happiness, not joy, not joy. Don't get
Happiness, satisfaction.
People are talking about being happy. Like, happiness is a function of expectations. You go to Chick-fil-A, you know when you go to Chick-fil-A that you don't have to pay 50 cents for all these extra sauces. You know it's about to be amazing. They got to sauce you up till you can't be sauced anymore. And obviously, if Chick-fil-A started charging you 50 cents for a sauce, you'd probably lose it. And all of a sudden, your happiness quotient would die down pretty low. Okay. So, but when we look at these expectations for these guys, like out the gate, right? We had these visions of grandeur. Cam Akers is gonna push Darrell Henderson and Malcolm Brown out of the way because they're dust. And Adrian Peterson, even though he just got signed, he's old and crusty. And Carry-On's dead. Well, Carry-On might be dead. But that's
I swear to God, you should do like show titles. Like, you should just be the guy, the next Morgan Freeman of shows.
Yeah. That voice.
In a world where Carry-On is done.
Where Carry-On once lived as a giant. So I mean, we just looked at, like, all of a sudden Gus Edwards has life and all these things that we didn't think was possible. Like, we dismissed all these things as even being possible in the preseason. Like, it wasn't even an option that Cam Akers wasn't going to take the job. He was taking the job. It wasn't an option that J.K. Dobbins wouldn't eventually nuzzle his way into the running back one role in the first quarter of the season. Like, all these things we didn't even think were possible. So now we're left holding the bag where we feel disrespected, disappointed to a large degree because Jonathan Taylor doesn't already have 3 100-yard games under his belt when Marlon Mack blew his Achilles in week 1. And so we did hype it up as a community. We did hype it up. But again, like John and like Chase said, if we're not necessarily even the long game, but like one section of a season doesn't make a season, and one season doesn't make a career. So like you said, I don't know that we're necessarily wrong yet, but if the expectation was that all these incoming guys were just going to be kicking dudes out the way left and right, then you're likely real pissed off right now and mad, disappointed, and pissed off because you listened to Ray and Ray told you that this group was dope. And it's like, well, yeah, the group is still dope. That hasn't changed. It's just the expectations of what you thought were even possible to start. So that's my
and we kept talking about, I mean, like the whole offseason, the whole non-scoring point score. What did we call it? The non-point scoring season. Scoring point.
What up, Russ?
Yeah. We talked about this. It seemed every week people would just keep bringing this topic onto the show of these fucking top 5 running backs, or even deep down 10, 15, whatever. And it seemed like all of their paths were not great at first, really. I mean, CEH probably had the best one, but that was before the Damian Williams talk that we had a lot of that, and maybe that was a factor. So, I mean, these guys really didn't have the best like situation as far as a depth chart. Maybe as far as their offense, yeah, I think for the most part, I think all of them were positive except for maybe Swift. I think we were tripping a little bit, but yeah, so I think we just need to wait still, right? Unfortunately, I don't know. And we want that now, Ray's on TikTok, okay? He wants it now. He wants it.
Wait, you're on TikTok?
Ray's TikTok game? Come on.
I'm starting to learn. So I'm trying to learn how to put out TikToks. I'm starting to do dances when I get fantasy advice.
Oh, Lord.
I haven't done that yet.
I downloaded TikTok when Twitter was down 2 days ago. Terrifying experience. I am too old and too musically challenged for such an application.
By the way, Gabe's voice sounds like God when it comes in. So I wasn't
You
expecting
were going to say God. Who are you going to say?
No, Gabe's voice. So Gabe's voice sounds like
it was
God
Edwin, though.
Oh, it was Edwin who had the voice comparison.
God,
Shit, and we let him go without asking him. I
That's
know.
what God sound like.
No, he came in, and I didn't expect him to come in. And then it sounded like God. It was like voice of the angels. And
Gabriel,
Fergie, I guess.
I got you.
Between Gabe and J Mike, you've decided it's Gabe who has the
right?
the angelic voice.
No, it's just because he hasn't been talking.
To Gabe and J Mike.
Fair. You guys have really hit on it. Ray, being from Las Vegas, you know the rules of craps. Gentlemen, do the rest of you know the rules of craps? Have you ever bet a game of craps?
Yes, thanks for reminding me that I wasn't able to go to Vegas in April for the NFL draft
Oh,
and
man.
spend
It's
48 hours in a row at the craps
at
table.
the craps
No.
table, and everyone who bets craps knows that you have a good table and everybody's having a good time, and you bet the pass line. You
Pass
don't
line.
bet pass line. You don't bet the don't pass line. Folks, if you're listening, the
But you
don't pass
do.
line is betting on the house. It's betting that the house is going to win. And it's the same thing with these rookie running backs, because it's more exciting for us if we know with certainty that Jonathan Taylor is going to supplant his peers in Indianapolis, especially with an injury. It's more fun if DeAndre Swift is going to come in and immediately vanquish all of his peers. It's exciting. You know, can you imagine this tout? Hey, guys, temper your expectations for J.K. Dobbins, the legendary running back from Ohio State, because Gus Edwards, he got a lot of run down the stretch last season, and if I'm a betting man, I think Gus Edwards is going to leave the team. No one wants to make that take. It's not fun. If you're right, it's sad. Great, I was right. Football sucks. Like, we're going to root for the incoming early drafted rookie running backs, because at the end of the day, there's way better ways to make money than fantasy football. We're doing this because we love this shit. And it's only fun when rookies deliver on the promise. That is why Saquon Barkley is the ultimate tragedy of all running backs, because he is the chosen one. He is the one who delivered. He was the best running back we had ever seen out of Penn State, the most magical running back, the most incredible build, the most incredible stretch plays, and to lose him in such devastating fashion is a dagger. It's the kind of thing that makes you rethink whether you even enjoy this shit anymore. That's why we like rookie running backs.
You've made this
Yo.
show, bro.
I
I'm
can't
just
even.
agreeing with you guys.
That's why we like
Honestly,
rookie running backs.
it's way more fun. It's way more fun when they're good. It sucks when they're not. And they're very often not. But no one wants
This
to
is
bet
great.
the don't pass line.
Ain't nothing else to talk about.
J.
John
Rob is the James Robinson of the craps reference is the yo. You put $1.
The yo, yeah, for
Yo.
real. Facts, bro.
Go out there and maybe you hit, and if you do, you win a lot of money. But he's the yo. You don't play. You don't bet a lot on the yo, man. You
No.
don't do that.
You don't.
that was well said. That was
Great job, John.
Well done,
Love
bro.
it. No, dude, like he crushed this whole episode. Like that was awesome.
Crushed it.
This was-
Stop. You
this was a
guys. I'm Filipino, so if I'm glowing, it's probably because of this, but I'm also blushing. So
Wait, have you actually put more into that glass, or is that the same amount?
yeah,
you
no,
spent?
I've been topping this shit off, man. I've been working on it.
Flex on my
Yeah.
ex. in
I
my
haven't
mind.
eaten in a while.
Can I give Gabe, J. Mike? Can I give y'all a recommendation, please?
Please.
You have got to take that rant, that rookie rant, and that's gotta find Twitter. That has got to find.
probably
Twitter.
will.
That
Yeah.
that was fucking awesome, man.
That's,
Like
that's Gabe,
that was
that's Gabe's
awesome.
thing. Gabe's got that.
That was awesome.
You guys
That was awesome,
Love
John.
it.
stop it. You guys are too nice. But if you like that rant and more, make sure you check out the Solis report on RotoViz Radio.
That's so funny.
Thank
That's so funny. And just, I'm gonna slide this in as we get ready to go. You are
That's
right.
what she said.
Saquon's, yeah, there you go. Saquon's career is on track for one of the biggest travesties to ever grace fantasy football or football in general. I don't even want to get into that because we've had a great episode. It's a really crappy thing to leave on.
Yeah, why would you bring that up?
Sorry.
But when you said that, because I was thinking about that a couple weeks ago, I was like, man, like like Saquon's career is legitimately on track to be one of the greater tragedies ever. In football, like in the football space, not ever in life. I don't need people freaking out. You really in 2020? You want to say it's the biggest? No, like y'all chill, man. It's y'all know daggone well it ain't like that. Anywho, but before Gabe tries to drag my corpse over the 2-hour line, because
Ray brought up rookie running backs.
listen.
Hey, you know what
Bob-
else?
Bob pointed it out.
Ray brought up the 2021 season, and he and we all are hopeful that it can be better than even 2014. And I'm not going to bet on the don't pass line. I want to believe that those rookies are going to show us something new, and there is hope for optimism. and there is reason to be positive.
I like that. There were a couple ones. Let's get on a couple of these because I do want to hear this. Would you trade? And this we'll play the quick one word
Here we
answers
go.
game.
Dynasty
One
trade
word
calculator, J Mike.
One word answers. If you calculate, get it.
Calculate.
Would you? And we'll go clockwise here. So Chase, you'll kick us off here. One word answers.
All right, let's do it.
Would you trade Barkley for Josh Jacobs?
Well, I don't know what I No.
John.
Yes, but I love Josh Jacobs. So yes, I would trade almost anybody for Josh Jacobs. He's amazing.
Okay.
And he's got the best story.
Ray.
I would.
Gabe. Cut him deep.
Agonizing.
Cut him deep.
It hurts,
Agonizing.
man. Oh, it hurts. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, he would. Yes. I've got one more.
Well, would you? Would you?
Yes.
Ooh.
That hurts.
We're all doing the hard thing.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Next question here.
The hard part.
Rank these three guys. So this obviously can't be one word. Rank these three guys. AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, CD Lamb. Dynasty.
Whoa.
All right.
Who was the first one?
AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, CD Lamb. Initials all over the place. AJ, DK, CD.
You're right.
I'm going CD.
CD. Okay.
Then, oh god, that becomes tough after that. CD's gonna get a volume. Oh shit, we're supposed to only do words. All right.
You're fine.
Probably DK because I think he might be more consistent, and then AJ Brown.
Okay. John.
AJ Brown, DK, CD Lamb.
Okay. Ray.
Hold on, I'm pulling up my rankings right now. I have it DK, CD, AJ.
Where can we find your
Three
rankings, Ray?
different orders. I love it. Yeah, where can we find the rankings, Ray?
Didn't you already get a plug? Damn it!
Patreon.com/all gas baby.
Hurt my feelings.
You got barbecue back there? But no, I'd go DK, CD, AJ.
Wow. We are all over the place. I still want to stick with AJ number one. They were so tripping over that bone bruise, and he's like, "What's good? I got Vrabes. I got Vrabes riding with me through this traffic jam." All right. And then who else? What'd you say? I can't even do it. I gotta say, I still have to say CD and then DK. I'm such a hater.
Oh,
Such a hater.
You are.
CD's number 88, baby.
I didn't even care who was 1 or 2. I just had to put DK third.
Oh, Gabe.
Such a hater. He
I am
won't give up
such a
the
hater,
prop.
bro.
Hating ass pops. Hating
I know.
ass real ass pops.
I am.
I'm
1A,
taking
1B,
massive
1C.
2-ounce shot.
Oh shoot.
Hey-yo.
I'm likely going.
Maybe
AJ. This is tough. Because coming out, I had CD again, my unofficial, right? I had CD graded higher than AJ, and I had AJ ahead of DK, and then they've all come in the league and they all look amazing. And I love how AJ Brown was hurt. He comes back and he's like, "Oh, y'all must have forgot. Y'all think y'all must have forgot.
I really
Y'all
did.
got DK a wide receiver 1. Okay, cool. Y'all must have forgot." I've got AJ still ahead of DK, so I probably go AJ, DK, CD. But just because of what we've seen so far, like I like all three of those guys so much. I'm such a fan. Anyway, let's leave it there. We'll leave it there. That's a fun one. You guys, and I would love to hear everyone else's thoughts. To everybody who's in podcast form, we appreciate y'all. If shout out to us on Twitter, how would you order those guys? DK, CD, AJ. How would you guys have it? Anywho, Gabe. I think it's time. I think it's time for us to get ready to kick these rocks out of here.
All right. Should we
Wait,
do
we're
orange?
rocks? We're rocks?
I
No,
can be rocks.
no.
That's fine.
No, you're not
You're
the rock.
so-
It's we.
You're somebody
We
gonna
all
kick the
pick-
rocks up out of here. And I don't.
Unbelievable, Chase.
Oh
This
my god.
No,
Chase on the rocks
This
right
is
now.
this is how he treats guests, and this is why I went over his head to invite some guests this week, because just the way that he treats people, man.
Unbelievable.
J Mike, come on, man.
My feeling.
Where's rocks? We gotta kick the rocks. God. Ah.
All right. Wait, it's over. I know. Is it? Is it over, J Mike? Are we really?
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta
okay.
go.
We eclipsed. Yeah. We.
I'm disappointed.
We,
Don't
uh,
you start, Mitch, y'all. Don't
I
you
guess, guys, if you guys are following the show sheet, we still have 4 more hours left. Obviously, you guys did not receive the show sheet.
Yo,
I think.
Matt said, "I'm not mad. I'm disappointed."
yeah, he hit us with the dad quote, man. Come on,
Dad
man.
quote.
Oh,
It hurts.
Dynasty dads.
Hurts.
Yeah, I think we've hit our 6 touchdown game from Mitchell Trubisky. We know what happens next, so we better
Get out while they're getting good.
yeah, we best literally kick rocks. All right.
God, man, Vine, you're the best.
Intro / outro, because we never did them.
Wait, you never did us, really?
We'll go around the clock here, and two newcomers to the show just absolutely crushed it tonight. Very much thanks to the both of you. Ray coming back to come kick it with us after the stardom. All right, the Patreon page went up. Come on, man. Come on. All gas, baby. Ain't no one say I'll pass. All right.
What up, Jay Rich?
What up, Jay Rich? Yeah, we gotta get him back on. He's good people.
What up, Wack? Sorry, had to get that.
And the nerds won't come on with the bar because they record the same time as us. You
Time,
said.
right? Yeah, but he rides with all gas.
Yeah,
Wag
that's
does.
true. He's good people too.
Good
All right. Chase, your intro, outro. This is all you. Say what you need to say to the people.
Oh,
What's
God.
up? What's good?
All right, so I have so much to say, but
All
I
right.
just don't know if it's appropriate. Either way, I still do 6-7 podcasts a week, write 2 articles a week in most cases. We're over there at Dynasty Nerds, of course, writing these articles. Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah, go make sure you guys check us out at Join Our Circle _ because some knitting company actually took our love and pride. They took Join Our Circle and they haven't posted since 2015. So it's Join Our Circle _ meanwhile, make sure you guys go check me out. FF_intervention. It's been a blast providing the stats for you guys. We just got started over there in March. Or no, I think it's actually June. We just got started. So we're about to break 2K. Cannot wait for that to happen. I'm really excited. It's been so much fun. Oh my God. And then LNKTR.ee/fantasy intervention is the place you guys want to go check us out. And Patreon, by the way. Patreon.com/fantasy intervention. And yeah, we're even over there on OnlyFans. OnlyFans.com/fantasy intervention. Bring that shit on. Let's go, guys. Let's get this OnlyFans started out. We're ready to rock and roll. What's up?
when
there are markets untapped. Literally.
Yo.
Yeah.
I do about 13
Untapped.
podcasts a week, so I kind of forgot about the OnlyFans one.
you know what, when you're working from home and your fiance peeks over your shoulder and you tab down real quick, I'm just gonna tell her, hey, I was on the fantasy football intervention OnlyFans. Okay.
Hey,
It's totally fine.
these lights don't keep themselves on. I know
God,
that
this
much.
is the worst time to plug at the end of this episode. That's what I'm gonna say. The worst time to plug. Pun
But,
intended is the end of this episode.
Speaking of meteoric rises, though, Chase, from your even in the short amount of time since like the SFB Podathon to now, just your growth and the fact that you're everywhere now and you're putting out fantastic work and you're linking up with dope people. It's been a whole lot of fun to be able to watch and even interact with you, obviously, in the side chats that we have. The chaos that is the chaos that is Dingus's children, or whatever we've named it now. But it's but you've killed it. You've been killing it.
I appreciate it, man. It's I'm not, I've been on Facebook, right? And Facebook is where I started. We have 22,000 members in fantasy football discussion, and it's a lot of members, and I get a ton of listens from that. But it's kind of like I deal with all the trolls in the world, so nobody on Twitter could ever compete with the trolls that I have to deal with on Twitter. I'm stoked to find my way, and honestly, like the stuff that I used to say in my podcast before Sal Lido found me, for the podathon, he's like, yo, you cannot say this. You cannot say this. You cannot say this. I can't even mention on this podcast, although, it's a late night podcast, but I still cannot mention. Oh, Ray, I should make this an OnlyFans podcast for certain things. But no, big shout out to Sal Lido, who's putting together that podathon. He got me on the right track. He's a big part of fantasy intervention. If that makes sense.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say you inspired the name. Okay, I see you.
I love it, man. And to start in, when did the podathon happen? May or June?
Yeah,
Probably June, or early July.
Around June, June, July.
Yeah, I had like 3 followers. So to make my way up to almost 2K followers in that time, it's been amazing. Constantly put out stats and promoting myself. So I know people don't like that from time to time, but it is what it is. I'll also call myself out when I get shit wrong. So shit happens. But anyways, Ray's my hero. Ray is the guy that I look up to, that I wish to become one day.
Ayo, Ray, you see that? You see that segue, Ray? That segue?
Yeah, let's save John for last. I just want to say I appreciate. Oh shit! Oh, it's me. It's big time. I just want to say I appreciate y'all, Gabe, J Mike, what y'all do to devote this much time to a show on a Tuesday night, man. Y'all salute to y'all, man. Y'all are soldiers for this, man. I appreciate anytime y'all ask me to be here. I will definitely be here. I would ask that you not invite me back with John, because he makes my gas look like ass gas. Like it ain't premium. It ain't premium around this guy, man. That dude is special. Chase, it was a pleasure meeting you. So I just want to say thank you. I've plugged all my shit throughout the show. I'm just doing my thing, man. I guess it's different now. I don't care about all the follower stuff and all of that, man. If people like rocking with me and they want to be a part of what I'm about, and they could find me, man. They could holler at me. I just like talking prospects, talking football. I try not to take this too serious, and then just having a good time engaging in this adult version of Dungeons and Dragons. So I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Sincerely appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Ray. And earlier, I don't know if you saw in the chat, Linda, the homie herself, Linda Lyons, as we call her. She said she likes you a lot better when you were when you were the truck to Chuba's trailer last season, because she's all about her ill water.
That's my girl, man. Linda's a dope chick in this game, man. Yeah. I love interacting with her. She's dope.
She's too much fun. Too much fun.
All right, Solace.
Sure. First off, Solis, I'll say.
Shoot! I'm so sorry, dude. No. I've been saying that for years. I've been like Solace. I love it. I love the way it rolls off the tongue.
Solace is an English word, but my dad's family's from Spain, and it's Solis. And I digress. First off, y'all are too kind. Literally, if you watch the tape back, all I did all evening was agree with Ray, who did all of the heavy lifting. I just borrowed what Ray was saying and say, I basically agree with Ray. So I take no credit for any of that. The Twitter handle is @Solis Report, SOLISREPORT. I don't offer any meaningful fantasy advice. Nobody likes my jokes. That's true. I host the only comedy fantasy football podcast with a live studio audience. I do that with Devin McIntyre @DevinMCI, and frankly, he writes most of the jokes. Truly, I am falling upwards in this fantasy football community through no efforts of my own. It's just on the shoulders of people much smarter and more cleverer than me. So check out my show at Solis Report on Twitter and Solis Report on RotoViz Radio. You can search Solis Report on iTunes. It pops right up. So thank you all so much for having me. Truly a pleasure.
Solis.
And Henny got those eyes red, baby. Get
I
you some-
I know. Can't be helped.
What a pancake.
Oh man! So are we going up for like another 4 hours? Are we gonna hit the show sheet?
Dates,
We're getting the show sheet, right? I did the show sheet for you guys. It's 16 pages. I did the show sheet. Damn it!
You let Gabe finesse you.
You can handle it. You can handle it, Chase. Go
I
ahead and keep
didn't
recording.
say I was gonna press
11?
end. I was just we were gonna leave. And
Yeah,
then,
I'm out.
11 podcasts a week has me prepped.
Yeah.
Has me prepped.
Stay ready and gotta get ready, son.
Right.
Let's go.
Golly, this has been a fun night. I'm grateful for this time. Grateful for Edwin, and shout out to Edwin again over with the folks over at Fantasy Points. Absolute pleasure being able to meet he and John tonight. Again, great to continue to chop it up with you, Chase, and get to know you even a little bit better. Ray, always good to have you back as well. Back home, my little homie, my little J Mike. As as the joke continued, somebody I think Zach earlier in
Zach,
chat.
J Mike in 2 boxes.
What's J Mike doing in 2 boxes, man? No, always a pleasure. Thank you guys. To everybody in the chat, man, thank y'all for keeping it lit this evening. Thank you all for having some fun with us and keeping topics flowing and all sorts of goodness. To everyone who's checking us out on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We appreciate that. Give us a like if you would, just to show some support. And if you are listening to this in podcast form, whatever the platform is, you could have given your time for 2 hours to doing anything. So if we're in your ears at the gym, if we're in your ears at work, if we're in your ears while you commute, whatever it is, man, we appreciate the time. Thank you for rocking with us. Thank you for caring enough to listen to a couple folks be able to chop it up about randomness, about silly jokes and nonsense and everything else in between when it comes to fantasy football and everything else. So again, appreciate you. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, wherever it may be. Thank you for rocking with us. We appreciate it. I'm on Twitter at JMikeCheck, at JMICCheck. The show's handle is at the Open Bar Pod on Twitter. And kicking it over to my main man, the host with the most, Mr. Gearing If You Nasty, FF Floor Raiser, FF Tractor, not the trailer.
That's dope. FF Floor Raiser. I like it.
And I got a
man.
Z. I got a Z in it too.
Razor. At FF Man Bun on Twitter, my main man Gabe. Ask that baby daddy. How that baby pappy. Gabe, take us home.
God.
That was heat on that one, bro. So Lise was talking about not getting the blushing going because of his complexion, bro. I can't escape that.
It's true. It's true. I can't shake it. I got the glow, man. Filipino glow.
All right. Man, this was too lit, too fun. It's been a minute to feel this type of energy. I mean, I've had a lot of fun on the pod so far in the fall this year, but I don't think I've felt like this type of way yet. So thank y'all for at least making me feel this way selfishly, because it's good to be back a little bit, 2020 sucks.
Yeah.
And so do the running backs, right? I'm just kidding, J Mike. Pay the running backs. All right, so that's it. J Mike, we got a show next week, man. We're coming, right? We're coming back.
Programming note: we do have a show next week. That is also one Gabe put together because your boy's been in outer space. However, election day,
Floor Raiser.
Election day, we do not have a show. Get out, exercise your right to vote, make change in your communities. That's all I got.
Nice. That's
For real.
information to me live on the open bar, not live on the open bar. Tuesday, November. What is it? November 4th?
I think third. I think third. Yeah.
Third. Okay. Yeah, no school for this guy either. So looking forward to that. Cool. I'm with it. The next week it is the last show in October. You won't want to miss it. We're gonna break down everything. Edwin's gonna tell everyone what I sounded like. I know. Look, yeah, it's tough. All right. Drinks. Yo, Henny and pancakes, man. So good. Can we have a night for that? Like, actually, Ray, when we get you back on, I assume that will happen again. Can we like really do that?
It's probably the worst combination that you can put together.
I know.
When you burp maple in pure fire from the Hennessy, it is not a good feeling, but I'm fucking down to do it, baby.
Yes.
That is
Fuck
not
salads,
the right
dude.
answer.
Fuck salads. Let's go.
I just like pizza.
All right. Cheers. Much love to everyone out there. Even if you were in that non-existent chat, much love to you listening in podcast form. All of the love everywhere. This has been the open bar yet again. See y'all next week. Da 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 da.